Oh, what's up, man? We're live. How's it going? Happy New Comic Book Day, February 5th, 2020. We got Dylan back there, man. He's chilling. Yeah. So this is like I'm dropping too much content today. All right, let me go ahead and bring this up. How's it going, Agu Ramos? I need to actually bring my regular chat feed up so I can be up to date. That way I know what's going on and I don't fall 35 minutes behind on the streams because that's something that typically happens when I'm live, whenever I'm doing something. Um, but yeah, I hope everyone had a happy new comic book day. Who we got in here? We got Tom. How's it going, man? Captain Comics, how's it going? Luis Ramirez 504. What up, Z Collects? Man, we got a bunch of y'all in here, man. How y'all doing, man? I know I just dropped it like a 20-minute video. Now I usually drop my top picks, which I think I still will drop because I just want to put out like my top books that I'm reading each week. But I kind of like showcasing like every book that's coming out and then giving like my 2 cents on every single book. It was kind of fun. It took way too long to make, so I hope you guys did enjoy the video. All right, let me pop this chat out real quick. Let me swing it to the side. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna X out of this window. I'm gonna X out of this window. I'm gonna bring this window right back around here. And how y'all doing? How's it going, y'all? I did get a package from Midtown, which I don't recall what I got from Midtown. Um, but I will be opening that one. What up, homie? How's it going, bro? How's it going, man? Look who else we got in here. Where's it? Where's he at? Where's he at? What up, Dylan?
What up, B? I gotta grab my dog real quick.
Yeah. Go play with your
Give me
dog.
30 seconds.
Go ahead. Last longer. He's crazy, man. All right, so let me make myself giant size again because giant size is always a good size. So I read a few books today. I haven't been to my shop in like 2 weeks. So Jabroni was here. So we went to a different shop to hang out together and do a bunch of stuff together. So I neglected my shop that week. And now this week, I was just like slammed with work. So I didn't get to make it. So I'll be there Friday. But, I had to go out and buy some digital books. And I realized a lot of the books that I got, I pre ordered. Darth Vader's on my pre order list from Midtown. The Immortal Hulk's on the pre order. The Dark Agnes B covers on the pre order. So even if I went to my shop, it was a pretty light week. But I did go ahead and purchase some books online to read. So that way I could get my new comic book day fix, man. Come on, man.
Did you get your fix, bro?
I got a little bit of fix, man. That Star Wars shit was crazy. That Darth Vader book, I like
Dude,
that better than Star Wars.
I was saying like I didn't want to get ahead of myself, but I thought so too.
It was pretty good. I was digging. I was like, oh shit. I read every single word in that book out loud. From the little robot that was like doing the shit like zzz, I was going
Yeah,
zzz. I was loving it, man. I was like, oh shit, dude, this is fucking. I like this book. This
Darth
is a
Vader
good.
was going in on it, bro. He
Oh
was
yeah,
just mad as hell.
he was, man. So
I was,
now I'm not too familiar with like I've seen all the Star Wars movies. Like I think I'm missing like two or three. But I've seen the original ones. Now I don't recall because it's been years, man. I haven't seen that shit in years. So
yeah.
this takes place right before the last one, like
It
episode
takes
four. No, four,
it
five,
takes
six.
place
Like
between 5 and 6.
it's between
So
5 and 6.
Empire
All right.
Strikes Back. It takes place right after Empire Strikes Back, like right how that one ends.
Yeah, that
Because
that
at the end of Empire Strikes Back, Luke gets his hand cut off by Darth Vader, and it looks like Luke's about to die, and he just kind of falls back and goes through this like thing,
and then they can't
and
find him.
yeah, and uh, so that's why I knew that they were gonna tie in somehow. So Luke goes and gets picked up by Leia and Lando, and then Darth Vader basically, he's like, "Oh, this weak son of a bitch, like, who raised him?"
Yeah, he was
He-
like, he's so strong and yet so weak. I was reading that shit out loud, dude. I was like, I was making the noises too. I was going and talking. I was like, oh man, I'm over here doing like a full on play by myself,
doing the voices.
doing all the voices. I was loving
I
it.
love it, man. I love it.
How's it going, everybody? Darth Vader was pretty fucking dope. I second that motion. Like last week, Thor was fucking dope. This week, Darth Vader was fucking dope. Like I love this Darth Vader book. I want to actually look at one of the incentive covers. I think I might pull the trigger on one of them.
Yeah, there were some really cool ones. I was looking at a couple. Let me see if I just because I was so mad. I told you I got my cover got wet. So
Oh man. Hey, it's always better when it's wet.
And I'm like, it's about to get. It's always better when it's wet, no doubt. I was like, my shop said that they were sold out. Diamond must have sold out because he's like, oh, I can't believe it's sold out. And I'm like, yeah, it's Darth Vader, dude. Like, I just shows you
Likes Darth
ain't
Vader.
in touch.
Yeah.
And he, what was it? Oh yeah, so I looked on Midtown to see if they had any, and they do, and they had some really cool incentives.
Yeah, let me try to see if I gotta bring some of those up in screen share. Because they do look pretty cool. Now that I actually like, I'm always really skeptical on buying an incentive. It's like the book needs to be really good, or it needs to be like a beloved character, like Usagi or Jimbo. You don't see a lot of 1 in 25s, so when they do come out, I pull the trigger. Now this book was pretty damn good that I might actually think about pulling the trigger on one of these. Let's see, here it is. Let me go ahead and screen share for you. Like, I mean, this cover looks pretty cool. I mean, it's a little bit pricey, but you know what I'm saying?
For
You
you,
gotta,
is
you
it
gotta
the Darth
spoil yourself
Vader?
every now and then.
Yep, that was one of them that I was looking at.
Yeah, like that's fucking cool, man. And like the fact how he was on Tatooine and these like what was that like bandits or raiders? They came to like hijack him, and he's just standing there like I got some anger I just want to unleash on somebody, and he just let that out. And the robot's like, all right, we're done here. He's like, no, droid. I was like, oh shit, dude.
I like the this cover C incentive. It's cheaper where he's like got his hand out like that. That's when like Luke. That's when Luke he cuts his arm off and he tells him he's his father, and then he falls down that big, whatever. It's like a big like literally kind of like what Darth Maul fell down when he got his body cut in half. But somehow, I like no, my son, you will be on the dark side.
Oh man, I used to work for Midtown a lot. Me too.
The Emperor has already foreseen it.
I found Midtown's good when I'm like doing pre-orders and I see covers that I'm like, I don't want to fight people at the shop and have to be there that day. So like when I see a cover or a book that's coming out, like Immortal Hulk, I wasn't sure if I was gonna get that Immortal Hulk Spider-Man one, so I pre-ordered that A cover already. But that was another one that was pretty good.
I was pissed with it.
What made you so angry, Dylan?
Because it was like nothing, man. It was just like, dude gets the Hulk power transfers into him, and then they just try to figure out how they can expunge it and put it back in Banner. I thought it was really cool though, how like Spider-Man's like, well, I could keep it, and Bruce is like, nah, that's super nice of you, but it's my thing. Like there was cool aspects to it, but I was just like, seriously, man, it was just like there was like no action. Even when he's supposed to be raging at nighttime, and they're like, oh, did you lose your pants and everything? It's like, well, I would have liked to see him breaking down that building or whatever. It's like there was just no action. I thought it was funny with Loki, and he's like, yeah, you're welcome. He's like, what the hell?
He's like, yeah, I'm a good guy now, bro. Like,
I love that. Were you reading that Loki series where he is the good guy?
I seen. Yeah, there was a couple of issues. I liked how the banter in the book, like the dialogue, was like, it made me laugh. Like I was reading it and having fun. It's just that's the problem with one shots is if it's not like a thick one shot, like double or triple the size, you're gonna get super rushed. Like it's just it's just inevitable. So I mean, I felt like for what it was, I don't think they. I mean, they could have added a few more pages. Like, yeah, I would like to see Spider-Man lose his pants. Like when he's like, "Did you lose your pants?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I lost my pants." And they both looked at each other hard as fuck. They were just, and then they just kept going. Like they didn't elaborate on that. I was like, "Damn, dude, he's seen some Peter dick. He's seen the Peter tinkle." You know, so I don't know, but I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it. If you haven't read it, I think you should, read it, especially if you're like a fan of Immortal Hulk, because I thought that was cool how he was able to, Bruce Banner got more gamma rays, turned into like a little bitchy Hulk, and then was able to suck all the energy out of Peter.
Dude.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it was cool, but I was just kind of left wanting more, and I was just like, wow. I was like, I just thought it would have been so much more. It just felt like a lot, like it was just something was missing, Yeah. And it kind of pissed me off.
As soon as I finished reading it, I messaged him. I'm like, dude, I could have used a whole mini of this. Like, it was just
too little. if I knew it was a mini,
Yeah.
I think I would have been more on board with it. But because I'm like, this is it. This is what I paid $5 for, and I'm not getting anything else. I'm like, damn, this is bullshit.
Like if it was a mini series to the point where they couldn't control Peter and Peter was just destroying his entire neighborhood, and
Yeah.
like that would have been cool, you know, to see like him just completely lose himself. And the fact that he became super big and he kept most of his clothes on, I was like,
Yeah.
come on, dude. You know, like at least just like maybe keep a little bit of shorts on, but he should have lost his whole top. You know, and his mask. Like he fucking turned into the Hulk. What's that, Mark? Agrasuko for the win. Yeah, so I talked about that in my my top keys of the week video. It has like this super strong like following over on Netflix and you know all these shows like the same one with
Oh.
like Rick and Morty and stuff like that. Like all these shows, and then they start to come out with like a comic book for it. It's like you always want to jump on the first one because it's like that's the book that people who watch the show like. Like if they had like
Dude, the Rick and Morty.
yeah,
That's expensive, I heard.
oh yeah, there's a few of them that are expensive.
I was picking it up for a little bit. I like the Dungeons and Dragons one.
You see,
But,
I picked up one of the
I
covers.
stopped
I just didn't read it. I read like some random issues, and I was just like, all right, it's nothing special. It's just like a Rick and Morty comic.
Yeah,
Like I'd rather watch the show than read the book.
same.
Yeah.
But season 3's been this huge letdown.
The last one I seen was when Mr. Poopy Butthole gets shot.
The last 2 episodes were the best out of season 3.
Comic Games.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if that Mr. Poopy Butthole getting shot is from season 3, because they like literally like just one like the last episode. It hasn't been for like weeks now.
We got 2 flexes. We got Comic Games and Jabroni in the chat. Peter Parker and Knob Goblin.
I think I just pulled a muscle.
You know what's funny that you say that? I was in a play in the 1st grade, and my only line was, "I think I pulled something." And I practiced that shit for like 2 weeks. I was like, "I got this. I got this." I went on stage. I'm like, I don't know if I got this.
Did you fail or succeed in your line?
I think I like replaced my own words. Like I improv. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got the swag. You know, Comic Gains. I think we lurked Comic Gains, and he's the one who it's the 2 guys and the 1 girl, which sounds like a bad porno, but they review like mystery boxes, like the Spider-Man booth box. So those are pretty cool, and they keep us entertained while I lurk. So thank you for being here. Longbox Diamond, how you doing, man? I'm going to the LCS right now. Be back in like 45 minutes. Make sure you get that Darth Vader, Mark. Get that Darth Vader. Get that Hulk book, man. If you didn't pick up Thor, get that Hulk book, man. Come on, man.
We'll get that Power Rangers TMNT if you've been picking it. Don't forget that.
How was that? So that was the first full appearance of the Green Shredder, right?
Yeah.
Now I know my boy in here. Where is
first
right
cover appearance too.
This guy right here, he be spoiling shit. He spoiled that shit for everybody. Everybody was getting
Did he?
mad at him.
I didn't see
they
it.
They were sending him letters and stuff in the mail. They were picketing outside his house because he was spoiling that shit like
Did
crazy.
he spoil this one? He's probably like, yo, I was tripping when because like I love Power Rangers, but I'm more of a TMNT guy. It just always stuck with me longer in my life. Like Power Rangers, you're like, oh, it got a little cheesy. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm like, holy shit, Power Rangers is so badass again. But TMNT, I never once in my life just was like, oh, it's got cheesy. I've always thought that shit was badass.
All right, so in that issue, the Ninja Turtles become the Power Rangers. Like they morph up.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They don't yet.
They're about to morph up.
They're like, because they can't access the power. The Rangers
Shredder's blocking it.
Yeah, from the Rangers, and so the power's still there, and he wants the power coin. He's telling them, he's like, "Yo, you guys are either gonna fight me without your power coins and die, and then I'm gonna kill Tommy, or you can not turn your power coins over and not fight me, and I'll still kill Tommy, or basically, you know what I'm saying? Just either way, it's a lose-lose. Like Tommy's gonna get killed, or they're all gonna get killed for the power coin." So the power's still there. So Zordon's like, I got maybe a rather crazy idea, and then it cuts to TMNT, and each one of them are holding the power coin.
That's so cool.
And Mikey goes, so wait, do we get to pick which color? And I was like,
No,
oh
that
my
sounds
god,
awesome. That makes me want to read that shit. And I always clown that shit, but that
dude.
sounds that sounds freaking awesome. Oh, we got somebody backstage, man. We got somebody that likes to play with action figures in the beginning of every show they do. How's it going? How's it going, man?
Hey,
Hey, what's up, man?
what's up, bro?
How you doing? Thank you for
Nah,
joining this evening.
nah, man. Thanks for the invite, man. Shoot.
Dude, of course, of course. But that link is good for both of you.
Yeah, you
Okay,
both can
cool.
smash the link.
Chris should be getting here pretty soon then.
Heck yeah. Did you read Star Wars or that what were we just talking about, that the Ninja Turtle Power Ranger book?
I did not read the Power Rangers or the. I read the Star Wars, the Darth Vader book. I read that.
All right, well we just spoiled Power Rangers for you, by the way.
What you think of Darth Vader?
Yeah, what'd you think of Darth Vader? Because I liked it. I don't watch a lot of Star Wars. I've seen the movies here and there. I know the basics and stuff, but reading that, I'm like, I might throw this on a pull list. Like, this is freaking awesome.
Well, the
Contradict.
same. I've kind of just recently started reading Star Wars stuff. I
Same
like
here.
the Kylo Ren storyline. That's good. I like that a lot more.
Same. I
but this-
love it.
Yeah, but this Darth Vader just. I kind of felt like I was just like, rewatching the movie. Sort of nothing really new, nothing big, in it.
Sure.
So that's my take on it. Chris is a little bit different on that one, but that's my. I don't know if I'm gonna keep reading it or not for sure. So.
Oh, no,
I think that that's what I felt like with Kylo Ren, the first issue, and you gotta give it maybe to at least issue 2 to see if they give you more, because I felt like it started that way. Same thing with Star Wars, though. It kind of you're like, oh yeah, I've seen all this stuff before, but then they're starting to get into some stuff you haven't known, and I hope they do that with Star Wars, because I was so happy with issue 2 of Kylo Ren. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying that run for sure.
Yeah.
I like that Star Wars run.
Kylo's like the best thing that's come out of all the new Star Wars stuff.
I feel like there's so much unknown about his story, Kylo Ren, so you can kind of do anything with it, man, and you're gonna get something new, I guess,
Isn't that crazy that the 3 biggest Star Wars characters, you got Luke Skywalker, you got what's the other guy, Darth Vader, and then you got Kylo Ren, they're all dead. Like, what the? Come on, man. We left with another Skywalker chick who just like claimed identity theft at the end of a movie. Like, they got to give us like a character we can invest in long term that isn't deceased.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Chew's still around, so.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. Let's see, Red Target Vader and Darth Vision read Target Vader and Dark Vision from last year. Is that when Darth Vader's on the horse with like the shield? I remember that from last year. That was pretty cool. I just never read it. Let's see, PR okay. They came after my time. I'm a Transformers and GI Joe kid. I can respect that. I'm a Power Rangers guy. And we got the other guy. How's it going, man?
Hey, what up, Chris?
What's up, guys?
We got both Lost in Comics in the chat in the stream, bro. I was like, Perry, we gonna get him on?
I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
I know he was the one. Perry told me, he's like, yo, go message them right now. We're gonna get him on. When he was lurking, you guys, because he's like, I can't do it right now, so you go message him. That's why it was me.
Yeah, dude, I was sitting there with my wife. We were watching The Office, some reruns, and just see a bunch of subscribers coming into the channel, and I'm like, she keeps looking at me. She's like, "Are you gonna watch or not?" And I'm like, "Yeah, babe. I just gotta check this because we're getting a bunch of subscribers all at one time." And
it's that Terry love, man.
I know, dude.
Bro, I see you guys are like 80 something. I'm like, let's get them to 100 right now. Let's go, guys. I had like 30 something people in the chat. I'm like, let's do it. Let's push.
That was awesome, dude. We really appreciate it, dude. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah, definitely.
We guys seem cool. Like so. My whole mission with the lurk was to number one, I needed to do a live show on my channel. Number two, I was lucky that I found the community by accident. So I was like, imagine how many people that upload to YouTube and don't really know the whole YouTube community. So I'm like, you know what? Let me spend like an hour or two every week and go out and find people. And then I seen you guys. I'm like, oh, these guys would be awesome community members. And you guys are from San Antonio?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's awesome because
San Antonio.
One of my greatest friends that I've met so far is the comic Jabroni. I think he goes to the same local comic shop.
Yeah.
So that's freaking cool. Small world.
Do you go to Heroes and Fantasies, Jabroni? I know he's in the chat.
I think that's his shop.
That's funny, dude.
That's freaking awesome.
The one on 410 or the other?
There's two of them, yeah. But we go to the better
one. Florida.
Better one. Yeah.
Yeah. No invites made too last.
No invite me.
San
Yo,
Antonio,
Perry,
yep.
I wonder, can you get your boy to 400? Can you got that much juice?
Nah, bro, ain't nobody want to sub to you.
Dude.
Maybe next Lark Dilla. Oh yeah,
Maybe not.
Northeast.
Pat Booker, yeah, that's far. That's far.
Oh yeah. That's on the other side of town. Yeah.
What up, Biggie Shack? How you doing? Who else is in here? Imagine doing a Star Wars Galaxy book. What's your take? You read Darth Vader. What'd you think of Darth Vader, Chris?
Man, I really enjoyed it. I've like Oscar said, same for me. I've kind of just started reading Star Wars books.
Mhm.
I've never been
Same
into
here.
the comics. Yeah. But I am reading the Charles Soule run, and we're at the Star Wars 1 and 2 that's come out. Really enjoying that. So yeah, gave this a try today, and yeah, I really like it, man. I really like the. I was gonna flip to a page here and put it on the screen, but I really like the flashbacks that Darth Vader is kind of experiencing those flashbacks.
Is that when the panels were
Yeah.
like red?
Yeah,
Like
the panels
Yeah.
are red.
Yeah, that
I
was
love
so
those
cool.
flashbacks.
Dude.
Man.
That was good how they did that.
Dude, I love those panels. And you kind of, I know you get some of the same some of the same stuff that you get in the movies, where he's kind of going through some of those same scenes in the movies, but you're getting like an in-depth look into his psyche, dude. Like, and seeing those panels in the red, dude, that stuff I love that, man, because you're getting stuff that details in the movie that you never get. So yeah, for me, man, that I enjoyed it. That's so Oscar. I'm in, man. Like I never thought I was gonna read Star Wars books, dude. You know, like,
Oh yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
totally. I love how you see. Like for me, this issue, what I got out of it is Darth Vader doesn't give a fuck. He
Yeah.
he doesn't care. He's on a mission. He doesn't care about what's going. He's in. They're like he's in a ship. He left. You know, he's doing his own thing. Here we go. Oh, there we go.
Dude, those panels are so good,
They
man.
really were.
Well, I see. It's actually kind of cool. We all I've been a huge Star Wars fan since I was a little kid. My first love was Star Wars, and then I started getting into the Spider-Man movies, the X-Men and stuff.
yeah.
X-Men actually might have came first, but you guys know what I mean.
Mhm.
So I was always trying to find a story to kind of dip into, because I always heard so many great things about like the Vader Down, Jason Aaron run, and they've had a lot of good runs. In the last maybe 5 years, I'd say. Like, the Jason Aaron run of Star. Yeah, that's the one I have the first issue of, the Star Wars by Jason Aaron, not even the Vader one.
Yeah.
And it's just always one I really wanted to dip my toe in and figure out. And I think Marvel's been starting pretty good this year, with the Star Wars, Darth Vader and Kylo Ren. It started off with the Kylo Ren, and Oscar said he likes that, and I've been loving that one too. I feel like a lot of people weren't digging that at first, and I was like, dude, this was issue 2 was my pick of the week. I was like, it blew me back, because I was with some of these stories, you're like praying, you're like, dude, please don't just give me everything I know, like give me something new. And it started off like that with the Star Wars and Darth Vader. Like the first couple panels are like that, but I think that there is some with the flashback, some of that stuff is what but I still just think it's issue 2, man. I think they're gonna really kill it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I need to pick those up, man, because I know Oscar picked it up right when it came out, but I can't find a copy anywhere here in town. I'm gonna have to order it online.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Which one, Star Wars or Kylo?
Kylo Ren.
Yeah. The first issue was like all about that, him burning down the Jedi Temple, which I'd say like 50% is stuff you already knew, and then the other half was like, kind of just the dialogue between some of the leftover Jedi that didn't die. But issue 2 was like completely. I'd say there was more backstory on Snoke in that issue 1 than there was entirely on any of the Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Because you kind of figure out that he got those scars and all that damage from Luke Skywalker, which I was like, oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Because I think, is it Charles Soule who's writing Kylo as well? So I think he's writing Kylo and the Star Wars. I almost thought he was writing the Star. I almost thought he was doing the Darth Vader too. I'm like, holy crap, he's just running the Star Wars world. But that's Greg Pak, but he still did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, definitely try to get your hands on that Kylo. I'm sure you could still order it though. I wouldn't doubt it.
You should be able to find it online.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you can at least read the digital.
Yeah. I'm sure I know I got a digital code. If you can't find it, I'll send you the digital code.
Yo, Kajun all over the Darth Vader books, man. He's on point, man.
Yeah,
He's been putting all that stuff in there.
Greg Pak, yeah, I love Greg Pak, man.
Dude, I'm gonna start reading some of that Star Wars. Like I've been reading a bunch of digital stuff. I finished God Country. Wow, that was so good.
Oh man, love God Country.
Good, because I'm a huge Donny Cates fan. Like Donny Cates should pay me for how much I rep him, man.
Like jabroni. I'll let him know when I see him at MegaCon. I'm like, yo, my boy said that you need to start paying him, bro. He needs his royalties because he keeps gassing you up every time he goes on a live stream.
Hey, I don't know. I think Jabroni said maybe check your guys' IG because he said he'd be down for a meetup.
Yeah. I just met Jabroni last week, and I've been talking to him for like a year. Like every day I've been talking to him. He is probably one of the most easy person to like you know when you meet someone at first it's like weird. You're like at an 8th grade dance and you're like sitting there, you don't really, you know what I mean?
Because you're like, I'm this dude online.
Yeah, no, but like instantly, like you meet him and he's like on point with everything, man.
Yeah.
He's a super cool guy. We got a guest right here. How's it going, Comic Trek?
Hey, what up?
What's up, man?
Hey guys, how's it going?
How you
First
doing?
Patreon subscriber, bro.
Can you actually hear me?
Yes, we can.
Actually, my only one.
Oh yeah. So what I'm doing in my my Patreon, if you are a member of my Patreon, you instantly get a link to all my live streams, and you'll always be invited because you support me. Of course, you could jump on my streams.
Hey, only the best.
Exactly.
Awesome. Yeah.
Did you read Darth Vader?
Yes, I did.
What did you think of Darth Vader?
I thought it was excellent.
Very cool.
I like the Star Wars comics that kind of fill in the gaps between movies. I also like the fact that they treat Darth Vader kind of semi-sympathetically. He's not just like a one-note villain.
Yeah.
And
there's layers to him.
With the flashbacks and everything. I thought that was...
And I thought the best part of the story is pairing him up with a robot, because I thought that robot was great as a companion, because obviously you can't pair Darth Vader up with anybody because you'll probably end up killing the guy.
Right.
The robot was good because he knew the boundaries he could push. He was pushing his boundaries, but he knew that any second he'd probably be dematerialized.
I can't hear the combo.
And you know why? Also, I think that's perfect because if you're a big Star Wars guy, you know that he has always had like a sympathetic feel for droids or like R2-D2. Man, that was his like best friend.
Right. Well, I don't think you see enough of that. I mean, I think in the movies and the sequels, he's the thing about it. He's always around people he knows. Whether he knew Obi-Wan or whether he knew the droids, and it was never really shown in the movies really giving any second thought to him, but they do that in the books, and I like that. I like the fact that they do that in the stories, and I like Greg Pak. Greg Pak's a great writer. He wrote some great stories, so I'm glad to see he's tackling it.
Oscar doesn't like it.
No, well,
I can't
like,
please
I
everybody. Yeah, I don't. I haven't. I can't think of one thing I like that he's.
He did that mini series last year that really pulled me in. That Hulk Marines. It was a 3-issue. I thought that was like a fun little story.
Is Greg Pak the one who did World War Hulk?
Yeah.
Hulk?
Yeah,
he was.
I haven't read that yet.
It's funny, dude, because Hulk Marines is the reason why Oscar doesn't like Greg Pak.
I expected so much more from that run.
It's only 3 issues. What do you want him to do?
Right?
That's like I told Dylan. The Immortal Hulk Spider-Man that came. It was a 1-issue one-shot. What else do you want them to put?
Yeah.
Like they're trying.
I think it was good for 1 issue.
For one
I
issue,
know. I guess I'm just a critical guy. I guess I don't know.
I'll give him 3 issues on this and see how it goes. But so far, it's doing pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the Star Wars stuff on Marvel. I think they've done a good job with it.
Is this like your first? Because it seemed like all of us were kind of just getting into the Star Wars reading, even though I've been a huge fan of Star Wars my entire life. But have you read some of the other Star Wars stories throughout the year?
Look at me, man. I'm an old friggin' dude. Of course I've run. I was reading them in the womb.
Someone who's been reading it as well to see if we're just not, just easy to pull. You know what I'm saying?
I could dig out my Marvel series going back to 1977, and these books are better than that. That was back when the movie studios and the comic book publishers didn't really want to have much to do with each other except, give me the money and you get the license.
Right.
So this is the nice thing about this is it's tied into what's going on in the movies, and
that is super cool. I like how they made the books canon now moving forward.
Right.
That makes me more invested in the books and more wanting to see the movies.
Well, right. Disney pissed off a lot of the Star Wars fans because instantly when they got the license, they said 800 novels that people invested their money in and invested time to read. Well, they don't count them anymore. So they had to do something to win them back, and I think they're doing it slowly. They're showing that they're putting good money into these books, and they're not just afterthoughts.
I heard that too, because those I all the time before bed I'll put on an audiobook of Star Wars and just get in that headspace of Star Wars, and I couldn't believe that they canceled all those and said no, those aren't canon. The people flipped, man, and people are way bigger on those novels than I am at all.
Well, with comics, they had to be a little bit. They had to do something because let's face it, there's been some good Star Wars in comic books. If you go back, a lot of people were fans of the Knights of the Old Republic series. That was, I think, Dark Horse had that license for a long time, and Dark Horse published a lot of good, decent Star Wars stuff. So none of that counts anymore. But people were used to reading good Star Wars comics, so they had to be good.
Did you read the? Was it Jason Aaron that had a real long Star Wars run?
I just started getting back into the Star Wars stuff. I'm on, I think, trade paperback 4 of the Aaron's run. So I jumped into Darth Vader because I knew it was kind of taking place in its own kind of separate timeline. I wouldn't get but I'm trying to get caught up, and then I'm going to read the new series of Star Wars that just came out. So I'm trying to read them in order, but probably in 20 years I'll be done. Who knows?
Because Charles Soule, he did the regular Star Wars that takes place between Star Wars and Empire, and now this one takes place between Empire and Return.
Yeah, and I think that's smart of Disney. That's a fantastic thing they're doing. They're placing it between the movies, and they're filling in the backstory, and they're kind of going in order. So, of course, they didn't go back to the prequels because not too people want to see the backstory of backstory of Padme or the backstory of any of those guys. So I'm glad they set them in the middle series. That's nice.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna start reading the Jason Aaron Star Wars tonight. But before I forget, my boy Perry messages me and he's like, "Dude, this Darth Vader is awesome. Jar Jar strapped up. I'm doing a review on this."
Yeah, Jar Jar with a gun. I'm like, this is kind of cool. Because you don't expect to have a gun because he's kind of like a weak guy,
Right. He became
go either way. This could go either way.
Jar Jar became a badass. But I thought for sure what was going to happen when I saw that. I thought Vader would bust through the wall and plug Jar Jar's ass, and he'd be dead, and everybody would be going, "Yeah, he's dead," and Vader killed him. But maybe that happened in issue 2. I don't know.
Yeah, for some reason that gave me the feels too, Perry. When I saw that panel, I was like, "Oh, Jar Jar."
You don't expect that.
Bro, I
don't
ignored that panel because I can't stand him.
So many people hate Jar Jar.
Means to be shooting a gun. Shooting a gun.
I thought you would like that, bro, because he's it's a little different than your normal Jar Jar. You get him with guns and
the Rainbow
is the gangster one.
Yeah, well, he was kind of a badass in the Clone Wars a little bit too. Just they hinted at it. Never showed it though.
That's true.
Yeah,
he was supposed to be the key to everything. I heard.
Yeah, he was the key.
Hearing that too.
Key to nothing.
Yeah.
That was one thing that I seen when I seen the new movies. I was like, so how does the Jedi Force work? Does she not need to train? But then I seen the last movie. I was like, all right, that's cool. We're seeing her train and run through stuff. But that's
I wish they spent. Star Wars. I wish some people really go. The movies just got to entertain me.
Same.
I'm a little bit more critical when it comes to Star Trek. You see when I'm going to put up a Picard. I'm going to put up a Picard review probably tomorrow, and I'm a little bit more critical with that. But even with that, I try to turn it off and just enjoy what it is.
Dude, I loved Picard, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I was never a Star Trek guy growing up. It was always Star Wars for me. But Picard has made me want to go back and watch some. I was actually watching some of the old school stuff because I'm like, holy crap, Picard was so awesome. I tried to get into Discovery. I fell off it like halfway in. I watched the J.J. Abrams ones. Those still didn't pull me in, not nearly as much as Picard.
Well, Discovery's been very uneven, and the writing's been horrible on a lot of it. And that's what I was afraid about on Picard. And so far, the writing's been a little bit better.
Yeah.
The JJ movies, I didn't like at all. I liked the first one. I thought the first one was kind of decent, and then it went off the rails in the second one.
Big time.
And then the third one was better, but then by that time, most people already said, screw it, you know.
Yeah.
And if episode 3 of Picard shows him boogieing to the Beastie Boys, I'm going to take a knife and kill myself. But we'll see what happens.
Did anyone get a chance to read the Fantastic Four X-Men? Like the crossover they just did?
I did. It was awesome.
What'd you think?
I thought it was awesome? Pretty damn cool. And I haven't been. I know John probably like busted in his pants reading it because he's such a Chip Zdarsky Daredevil fan. But dude, man, I thought it was cool. And it's only going to be 4 issues. It wasn't like amazing, but it was actually really cool. It was actually one of my Marauders I thought sucked. It was like a filler issue. You still didn't hear what the hell's going on with Kate Pride. But you get some really cool Kate Pride in Fantastic Four X-Men because she kind of has a relationship with damn it, wow, I can't think. Franklin Richards. Okay. It's all about the X-Men because in Powers of X or House of Hoxpox, they threw this little thing when they arrested Sabretooth. Fantastic Four were trying to arrest him, and the mutants came and they're like, nah, you can't do this no more. We take care of our own, so he'll be in prison. And then I think it was Cyclops. He's like, he kind of goes to Franklin. He's like, you always got a home with us because you're a mutant, but none of the other Fantastic Four are. So that's basically the whole thing, that the X-Men are going to seek out Franklin Richards, and they're kind of telling him like, yo, you're a mutant. You need to come home and be with your fellow mutants at Krakoa. And basically, Fantastic Four, the mom, the dad, they're not about to just let them take their son. And the thing about Franklin is that his powers are acting up. They're like on the fritz. He was so powerful that he could create like planets. And right now his powers are like depleted. And his dad, he's like pissed at his dad because he's like, you figure out all these daily problems. You're supposed to be one of the smartest men on earth, and you can't figure out what's wrong with my powers. So he's having like daddy issues. And he's just acting like a rebellious teen that's pissed at his family because he's not going to be big time hero anymore. So when X-Men come to seek him out, you know what I'm saying? And Kate Pride has like a little relationship with him, and she's kind of being like, well, do whatever you want, honey. You know what I'm saying? And basically, man, he's going to do what he wants because he's in that rebellious time, and he's wants to figure out what's going on with his powers. And if his dad's going to screw around and not figure it out, he's going to go to Krakoa and be with his fellow mutants.
Is that a tie into X-Men then? Or
it is.
Really?
It is.
I'd say it tied in more to the X-Men than any of the other single issues.
I just have to pick it up then. Dang it.
It seems like a lot of these, X-Force, X-Men, Marauders and stuff, like they're just their own single stories and they loosely tie in. Like Excalibur hasn't tied in at all. Fallen Angels didn't tie in at all. But that Fantastic Four X-Men actually tied into kind of what's been going on. So it's only 4 issues, so I'm gonna be reading it all.
That makes me want to get it. That sounds good, man.
Yeah. I don't know about the Fantastic Four, but if it ties in, I guess I'll get it.
And last time I read Franklin, Fantastic Four book, Franklin was like 4 years old.
Yeah,
and he kept and every issue he'd get kidnapped by some villain, and the Thing would have to rescue him and stuff like that. So,
Zdarsky actually used to write, like before Dan Slott got Fantastic Four, he used to write Marvel Team Up, and it was basically like the Thing and Johnny Storm and Doctor Doom, kind of like I'd never read any of it, but I know Rockin' Robbie used to rave about it. So he was saying like, dude, he knows how to write Fantastic Four, and I think he writes Fantastic Four better than Dan Slott in one issue. Then I read like 13 issues of Fantastic Four, and I thought all of it besides the Hulk fighting thing was garbage.
But that's what I've heard.
Zdarsky, man, I think he knows how to write Fantastic Four. I think he should get Fantastic Four, but it was cool. Only 4 issues too. I'm always a sucker for the miniseries, so
I think Zdarsky's got too much stuff
Speaking of
going
Sting and
on.
Hulk, man, I didn't like that.
I think so
that
too.
one
but-
shot, man. I didn't like that. The only
He's
thing
on,
out today,
he's
you know,
on
it's Spider-Man.
Daredevil, which has
Yeah,
been
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
he's on Daredevil. He's doing White Trees.
I don't like Daredevil.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I like
Yeah,
Daredevil as a character, but I've been picking up all the issues and I'm about to read them because I'm gonna feel like I wasted all my money because I fell off on issue
I'm
6.
with you. I'm with you.
I
Dylan.
heard it was really good. I didn't. I read
Yeah.
the first issue. I didn't care for it too much.
Seriously,
Zdarsky's doing a digital
Finally,
only.
man.
I'm waiting
Zdarsky's,
for the story arc to end
Yeah.
so I can
Zdarsky's
finally
doing a
drop
digital.
it.
Yeah.
Zdarsky's doing a digital only series
Chris
on
is in it, though.
Comixology,
What
and
is it?
it's called Afterlife. It's not bad. It's about the devil recruiting taxi drivers
Yeah,
that has to take lost souls to hell.
What?
the comics out
And
only.
That
Right?
it's
sounds
on
cool as hell.
it's Comixology. Comixology only, but I
I missed it. I
understand
can't hear. I
that
can't hear.
eventually. Oh, you can't hear me?
You can't hear?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello.
What about me?
I hear you.
You can hear me?
I hear you.
I think we were
Okay.
just talking over each other for a
Okay.
second.
Well, it's a Comixology only series now. I understand that eventually it's going to be going to trade, and it's pretty decent. It's worth reading. It's called Afterlife.
Afterlife. That sounds awesome. But yeah, no, he's got a lot of books, you know, between Marvel and then the indies that he's putting out. You know, like when does he sleep? You know, I mean that's a lot of writing, and then you got to sit down and think of like not just issue to issue, but like the bigger picture on things. And it's like, how can you keep track of every little thing? I don't know, man. He must have like a whole team because that seems like a lot of work. I could barely think of like what video I'm doing tomorrow, so I don't know how he's doing like all these different books.
It's crazy because it feels like every time one of these writers has just like a little bit of success, like dude, they just like burn them out. Like I remember Donny Cates did when as soon as he moved over to Marvel. It was like, oh, all right, we're gonna put you on like 5 different books. And it's like,
Well, you
at
slap
some
his name
point-
and everything, and it sells. You know?
yeah, exactly, yeah. At some
Well,
point,
I think like what Dylan says with some of his books, I think Marvel and some of these guys keep these stories in reserve. So when these guys can't meet deadline, they shovel in a filler.
Yeah,
yeah,
big
yeah,
time.
yeah.
And I hate that, man. That's why I'm dropping a lot of these Marvel titles, man. And I'm going indie. I'm keeping my Donny Cates books, and I'll keep Immortal Hulk. I like Jason Aaron too. I don't like Valkyrie though, but I like Avengers by Jason Aaron. I liked his Conan run, even though his Conan run like kind of got wrapped up like the way, I don't know, the way he wrapped it up, it seemed really rushed and kind of like a lot of fillers in between. But I'm excited for his King Conan run because they're doing too much of this Conan in the Marvel universe, and it's
There's
just
a lot of
I
Conan
can't
books.
buy
I'm
it.
surprised. I'm like, I didn't even think a lot of people were reading Conan. Nonetheless,
Right.
reading multiple issues of Conan, like
Right.
Somebody must be buying them.
yeah,
I
someone
think
must be
that's what they
buying
do,
them.
though,
or
right?
someone's wife must be buying them.
A lot
gonna
of
be mine.
a lot of people are raving about Savage Avengers, but I fell off that one. I didn't
I was
really
in
like
for a while, and I dropped
Same.
out too.
Same
Yeah.
here.
But Conan the Barbarians, I liked it probably like 70% out of 100. There was a couple crappy issues, not really crappy. They were just okay. But I like Conan in his barbarian times. I'm trying to think this whatever
Crom.
the Savage Lands or whatever he's from. Yeah, the Crom, man. Like I thought the Savage Sword of Conan. I think what was it? Savage Sword of Conan. The first arc when he's like on this pirate ship was badass. And then they handed it to Zub and he did this Conan the Gambler, and it was it was like okay, but it was like, dude, Conan's not a gambler, he's a barbarian savage. Like it's just that people are just doing stories that I don't care about with Conan. And then it's like you're doing these that don't even work with him as a barbarian, and then now you're gonna throw him in the Marvel universe with Moon Knight and shit. It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah, dude. I remember when they brought him in, right? It was like during Avengers No Surrender, was it? I think
No
it was
Surrender.
It was that,
Yeah, yep.
that whole deal going on. I was like, I was actually kind of enjoying that, and then they brought him in. I was like, what the heck is this, dude? Like,
Yeah.
it just didn't feel natural, dude. And then we started seeing him in all these other books, and I was just like, all right,
It's because they were ramping up for his run. That's why they put him in there.
I think was he in No Road Home too? The Avengers No Road Home.
I think that might have been when they brought him in. Right. No Road Home.
Like halfway.
I did like that because it was like mythology. Yeah, you're right. Halfway. It was like mythology. Like that one worked, and then but once you saw they brought him into like our world, you're like, oh man, I know what they're gonna do. They're gonna start bumping out all these freaking
it was weak
Marvel universe, and it's like it's just stupid.
It was pretty weak.
Yep, super weak. Now we got what
for Spider-Man though. Spider-Man, there'll be like 5 different runs of Spider-Man going at the same time.
Right now we got a bunch of them. I mean, I dropped ASM. I wasn't after issue 17, 18. I was like, I can't do this with. And then I had a Life Story. I picked that up instead. I love Life Story. I thought that was pretty cool. That was another Zdarsky book. And now this alien symbiote reality. I'm like, this is like a fun Spider-Man book it's just fun, So I'm definitely reading that one. But yeah, there's so many Spider-Man books. DC does the same thing with Batman.
Yeah.
There's how many Batman titles can you have?
Hush your mouth.
Miles Morales was good.
Yeah,
I love Batman.
I stayed on ASM.
You never have enough Batman.
37 issues. I should have dropped it when Perry dropped it so I could have got Life Story because I chose ASM over Life Story, and I'm like so mad at myself still about it.
Yeah, Ant-Man #1 had 3 first appearances in that today.
Oh wow!
Oh, dang.
Dude.
Oh, that's another one that I like. Did anyone read Ant-Man?
I did not.
I did not
on him.
I like Dylan Burnett's art in it. It was like straight. It was just fun, bro. It was just him goofing around. That he's like broke. He's broke as hell after the War Realms story line. It basically takes place like a few months after that, and he's basically putting out ads in the paper for Ant-Man Hero for Hire, and he's living in an anthill. He's living with the ants at this point.
He's like Ant Gigolo for sale.
Yeah. So it was
funny. I didn't make some money.
You know what's another good Marvel book, dude? That's kind of like in that same vein. Like Ant-Man is Hawkeye. Are you guys reading that?
Yeah,
I read the first one.
Hawkeye Freefall.
Yeah,
Hawkeye Freefall. Yeah, Matthew Rosenberg.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought issue 2 was really good.
Dude, I like it, man. I feel like it's kind of got that same like kind of lighthearted. It's not too heavy.
Yeah.
But then you got a lot going on, a lot of characters in there. You got the whole thing with Ronan.
I like the graphic violence though. It's a good balance, I think.
I would like me some graphic violence.
Free Fall and Ant-Man, I feel like they're both like that lightheartedness. No doubt.
Exactly, dude. Yeah, I haven't read Ant-Man, but when you're describing it, it sounds like Hawkeye Free Fall, dude.
Yeah,
I like that book.
So I would just say I like the art a lot better in Ant-Man than Hawkeye Free Fall. But I still, the Free Fall art is more you kind of got to get used to it because it's more that animated, goofy type artwork. But
it's cartoony.
Yeah, cartoony.
Yeah, for sure.
Issue 3 comes out next week?
Yeah.
Of what?
Yeah, of that what's it called, that Hawkman, the Free Fall.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to see if I could get issue 1 and 2 because you've been talking pretty high of it, so I kind of want to dip my toes into it and see.
I think it's the second print of issue #1 next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it?
So you could.
Maybe.
I don't know if you want a second print, but
You guys want to hear what I read?
What'd you read? Let's go.
Well, see, I only pull my titles once a month. I get them mailed to me because my LCS is a ways away and
Sure.
I have issues. So I buy a lot of indies digitally because my LCS doesn't even carry them. And sometimes I take a shot on issue 1 and I don't buy the other one. So it's almost like today I read almost all indies. So I read, I only read Darth Vader for my Marvel book, but I read that book Backtrack from, I think it's Oni Press.
Oni Press, yeah.
And the book The Man Who Effed Up Time.
Oh, how was that? See, I want to read that because
both of those,
my brothers right here really were excited to talk about that one.
Both of those books were pretty good, and they're both kind of similar.
I enjoyed that book.
Effed Up Time was a little bit more comedy-ish, and I like the artwork for it. And it looks like it's going to go somewhere pretty good. Backtrack was interesting. It was a little more serious, I guess. The artwork was it was okay. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but the story was decent. I think both of them were warranted number 2. Those are both good. I also read that Dark Agnes book.
I tried reading that. It seemed kind of cool. I mean, but I don't
It's
know. If
okay.
yeah, it wasn't nothing too special.
It's something I might go with issue 2, but I don't know. I may drop it. And then I read the books you guys all reviewed, Battle Cats.
Yep. Tales of Aldaria.
The artwork is fantastic.
It really is. Like the hyper realism. I was like, wow, I was not expecting this.
The only thing I didn't like about it is that the whole story was only like 13 pages
It was
long.
very short. Yeah.
So the book is like 25 pages long. You get like 5 pages of encyclopedia and a couple of ads and 13 pages of story. That was kind of nuts. But
Yeah.
it was good. And finally, I read that Daphne Burden book.
Well, how was that? Issue 2 came out.
It's creepy. I mean, especially if you guys read it. I don't know. I think Dylan read it.
I think Dylan read it. Yeah.
The last panel is wicked creepy.
Of Daphne
It's
Byrne?
not bad. Of Daphne Byrne, yeah.
Daphne Byrne.
It's not the best Hill book. That's probably Basket of Heads. But I think I like it a little bit better than Lolo Woods.
I like that DC went out on a limb and did a thing with Hill House Comics to bring something different to Black Label that's not your typical Superman, Batman. And they're doing like a horror. I want them to keep going down these different avenues because they did Last Gods and that was like a hit. Like the artwork was amazing. The whole fantasy realm. I don't see a lot of that in DC.
Well, I also like that they kept it $3.99 and they didn't try to push it to $6 like all the other Black Label books, which is good. But they have another one coming out, I think, in a week or two called The Plunge. I think it's called.
Yeah,
that looks kind of interesting. But Dylan, did you read Daphne Byrne, Dylan? Issue 2?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think of that last page where she's embracing in bed the
dude?
That's nasty. Yeah, that's good.
So creepy. So
it was creepy. Yeah, the whole book was pretty creepy.
Fine bones are like.
Dylan, do you have
out.
it? Let me see. We got it right there. I want to you know.
Is that Jack and Coke in there, Perry?
No, it's not Jack and Coke.
Oh man.
Well, I can show it to you. Let's see if I can. He might has it before me.
It's the race. Who can get it first? Oh, Dylan got it first. All right, let's see what we got.
I know, freaking digital. It's not as good.
So he's sleeping with her?
Well, no. Yeah, technically, I guess.
Oh, what is that?
That's kind of creepy, man.
Look, though, he looks like a human for a second. Like
he looks.
He's all snuggled up behind her, trying to.
He's snuggly bush. He's snuggly bugly.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
It's so warm.
Creepy as hell, though.
Well, he looks different in the whole book. He looks different every panel you see him, right?
Yeah, he looks like a human. And then at one spot he looks like when he's like creeping up the stairs, he looks like I don't know, like a little dust bunny ghost.
A dust bunny ghost.
I don't know. That's the only
That's
way.
very
Like,
descriptive.
like I don't know, he's all smoky or something.
Hey, Dylan,
Doesn't he look like a little dust bunny
Dylan,
ghost?
you got any dust bunnies in your room there or what?
I wouldn't doubt it, bro. This shit was creepy as hell, though.
What's that? Oh, damn.
Oh yeah.
So now, for people who don't know, what's the premise of this Daphne Byrne? Or plot, if you would.
This one's like different, man. It's like this girl and her mother like lost their father,
He's boring there.
and the mother like goes to basically I don't know, like seek out this medium, but the medium I think is like fake, but the daughter has like some demon, like I don't know, like this spirit like attached to her.
Yeah, it's kind of like a protector, and
Yeah.
she gets bullied by some of the schoolgirls there, and that's that panel you saw where Daphne looks like she's a zombie or something, and the girl goes rips her bloomers and goes running off. It's kind of a whacked book, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not issue 2 is a lot better than the first, but
Disco.
I still think Basketful Heads is the best.
I've been enjoying
I didn't really like Lolo Woods at all. It was like really slow.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for Plunge though,
I have high hopes for Plunge.
because Joe Hill, man, he's just been killing it. And they showed like a little picture of like one of the workers, and their eyes are like all black. in one of the advertisements. It was dope.
Yeah.
We read that Tart #1 off your recommendation, Perry.
Oh man, it was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool, man. It was cool.
Yeah.
Like honestly, dude, like when I saw the cover, I'm like, what is he reading here, dude? but read it today, dude, and that was pretty good, man. Do you know if because when I got to the end of the book, it says like in April, Volume 1.
Yeah, so it's gonna. I
1999.
think it's gonna be like 7 issues, and they're all gonna release in one trade. So what I like about these indies that I'm reviewing, a lot of them are starting off as Kickstarters, and then
Okay.
like Scout Comics, they come and they buy the rights and they publish it under their title. So it's kind of like you got like regular people like you and me who are just writing a book and putting it out there into the world, and now we're reading it in our own house. Like it's just crazy, and I would rather support those types of books than the big Marvel and DCs. So I'm trying to do more of those reviews. But yeah, the book was cool. I thought it was interesting. I'm a big supernatural hunter guy like that. Like I like stuff like that, so it was right up my alley. But yeah, no, I'm happy that you picked it up. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was good. Go ahead, Oscar.
Oh no, I was just gonna say after I saw your review, I said read it, and then you said something in your review that I went to go back and check, like the borders you were talking about.
Yeah.
And I did enjoy it a little more after that. I guess I was a different kind of.
It's cool seeing something different, you know.
Yeah, those a few choice pages there that I did enjoy as well.
I mean, when you have women and she's getting a little naked, I can't get mad at it.
Yeah.
Is that one of those comics you buy in a plastic bag or what?
No.
Yeah.
No, but those are pretty good too.
You got little paper covering the cover.
Little erotic variant.
Little bunny on it.
Oh, by the way,
who's this?
yeah. By the way, that wasn't syrup on the plastic cover.
Oh, so this is Dylan. So we used to have Dylan comic book rants. Now he's just Dylan's comics. And he's got a new logo, man. He's coming out here. He's killing the game, man.
Nah, I'm gonna have a better logo than that. My brother Nick is making me up one.
Oh yeah. Oh, Disco. I hope your kids get better, man. I know how much Disco looks forward to. I think he looks forward more to Disco After Dark than everybody who watches. So I'm sure he's missing it. So I hope the little ones get better.
No higher praise than that.
Well, hello there. How you doing, Two Brother Comics? Nick or Dustin, whichever one. Anyone know if Deadpool came out? I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Nah,
No Deadpool.
I didn't see it. I think it's next week, maybe.
I wouldn't know that.
I'm gonna have to get on Perry's ass for that intro.
I'll get you with an intro. But yeah, so any other books you guys read today? I know we read that Immortal Hulk Spider-Man book. I thought that was really cool.
Did you read Batman?
I did not read Batman.
I haven't.
I'm a little behind on that. So
Uh,
I'm behind.
I did read Justice League. I don't know if you guys are in reading Justice League at all.
I dropped it after Snyder. I dropped it at 39. How did you pick issue 40?
Yeah, it's on my to-read list. Not yet.
You know what, dude? At first, it kind of got me. When I first started reading it, I thought, oh shoot, like, because it has nothing to do with issue 39. It's like what the heck? Like, it just like restarted the whole storyline. So at first it kind of threw me off, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. But as I kept reading it, I actually started to think, like, you know what? Maybe this is. I was getting a little bit tired of the whole Lex Luthor, Apex Predator, Perpetua. Like, I mean, it was good, but I think reading this and seeing the Justice League in a different story actually like felt a little refreshing to me. And yeah, I liked it, and the art was really good. I'm a big fan of I think it's Doug Mankey. I think Mankey. He did he's been doing the detective run also. He's an artist on Detective.
Swear. I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude, and he's doing the art in Justice League. And dude, it's pretty sweet, dude. I like
that. Is pretty sweet.
Oh damn.
Yeah, so I guess though how issue 39 ended on
a big old spread right there. I like that.
Snyder and Capullo are like gonna do another series that is gonna finish that issue 39 run.
Okay.
Which is kind of confusing.
It's weird. Man. I'm like, well, why not do it in the Justice League book? But it is what it is.
Because then he can't call it metal or whatever. Dark metal. What? It's something metal. I forget.
Well, it's called dark metal, and from what I understand, it's going to be Snyder and Capullo's last hurrah.
They said that before too.
Yeah, I know.
Didn't that just happen?
That's one way to sell a book. This is the last time we're going to do it together.
Well, they have had. I mean, they did the Undiscovered Country, and that sold pretty well. So they might want to move on to indie stuff.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that Undiscovered Country, that was great. It was Image's best-selling book in like 10 years.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I can't blame them. I mean, you're not going to get. Well, they're rich, but they're not going to get ultra rich doing DC and Marvel stuff. They're good. Indies is where they're going to make the money.
Oh yeah,
they own it.
And they could be more creative with the indies. Like when they're with Marvel and DC, they're trapped to like those characters. Mm-hmm. They could just go balls to the wall on an indie publisher. They could literally do anything they want. I mean, Chip Zdarsky had demons having an orgy, and I was like, all right, this is not. I didn't know Chip Zdarsky was thinking about this type of stuff. Like so.
That's what Afterlife is about. This demon fucking going on in that. Every book he does is usually demon fucking going on.
He's got a fetish.
That's what it is.
Maybe if you haven't read the Justice League up to this point, maybe this might be a good jumping on point because, like I said, it just totally had nothing to do with those previous issues, and it's actually pretty good, dude.
What issue was this?
Should be a perfect jumping on point, actually.
Yeah.
From what I was reading, like completely new story arc.
Which was issue 40?
Issue 40. Yeah.
I couldn't believe when 39 ended. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this is how it ended. But then you see the panel and they're like, going to do something last time ever. And it's like, didn't we just get that with Batman Last Night on Earth? And it seemed like a lot of people didn't like that either. So,
have you guys heard of the rumor of the ending of Justice League 39 and then what Donny Cates is doing over in Thor? That I've read some stuff online about a crossover between DC and Marvel.
I want a crossover. That Thor issue too. I was like, this is cool. I want to see them like poke fun at each other. Why not?
Me and my boy Perry broke the news on that crossover with Thor.
I missed it. But
we were like talking, and he was like, it was on this show too. It was when Thor issue 2 came out. He's like, did you see that? And I was like, no, what? He's like, the crossover DC, and I looked at it. I was like, holy shit, bro,
dude, that would be sweet, dude. I'd be in for that for sure, man.
Oh yeah,
I guess it would depend who they cross over. I'd like to see some stuff you haven't seen in the past. I'd like to see some off the wall crossovers.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm down for it. I mean, anything that does stuff that's out of the norm. I'm kind of like, because like I was going into reading Thor number 2, like, all right, Thor number 1 was cool. Let me see what they're doing, and I flipped to the second page. I'm like, is that Superman?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
I was like, whoa, what's going on? And it got me excited enough to like want to hurry up and read the book. I was like, this is crazy. I was like, all right, this is different. Then I look at my phone and I see Donny Cates and Jim Lee are like doing a signing together. I'm like, whoa, what's happening? What's going on?
Yeah, for sure. Somebody asked a little bit ago, what's the best Marvel book right now? What do you guys think of that? What's your favorite Marvel book right now?
Currently, I would say Thor, because it's brand new, it's fresh. I know Cates. Yeah. I'm fine with Nick Klein doing the artwork. The story's been pretty good for me, and I'm excited to read the next issue. I can't really say that about any other Marvel book. So for me, that would have to be Thor.
I've never read a Thor book, so I'm the same. Thor's probably my favorite.
Yeah. Same here. Either Thor or Venom.
Oh yeah.
But I would say I like Thor. I like Thor better right now.
Yeah.
So two Brothers comics.
I just found out that Two Brothers is actually two brothers, Oscar, last night. So they're actually two real brothers.
They're two individual brothers. I think they live in like different states too, but they still stream. They're awesome, man. I love them because they're both different people. So like you see one guy, he wears like a collared shirt and he's gonna do things structured, And then the other guy is like,
Yeah.
let's go on my Harley. I don't give a fuck. Let's buy. This guy owes me money. Let's pull up in my Harley. We're gonna break some kneecaps. You know. I'm like, I kind of like this. I kind of got the yin and yang going on.
Yeah. You gotta have that, dude. You gotta have one guy that will smash their face in a cake, you know, do stuff like stupid stuff.
Oh my god, those are my boys. They hit 400 today too. He
Oh,
told
man,
me,
congratulations.
he's
Nice,
like,
congrats.
we've been hitting. They're like, we've been going 399 to 400 all day. He's like, I think someone's screwing with us. So I told my brother, I'm like, my brother likes the comic book stuff, so he'll watch from time to time. I'm like, bro, go sub them up right now, bro. We ain't playing these games, bro. My boy's hitting that 400.
Yeah, I'm new. I only have 45, but I'm a niche channel, so I expect it's going to be a slow go. Although I might get into, as it goes on, I'm going to get into a little bit more than just Trek stuff. I'll probably do some other comics as well. But right now, I'm just trying to get that niche going.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
It took for me to get to 100. I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work.
Dude, it took me a minute too. That was the 100. I think is the hardest for real.
Yeah. Well, because like you're first starting and you're like, I don't really know what I'm doing. You know. I mean, I'm at 1,000. I'm still kind of like, I don't really know what I'm doing. You know, but it seems to be working. So let me just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do stuff you like. That's the biggest thing. You have to. If you don't like what you're doing, and you're not going to enjoy doing it. I'm trying to do such stuff that is a little different than what everybody else is doing, and I still like watching you guys. I like, I don't read enough of a lot of the different stuff to really do the new comic day stuff. But heck, maybe in the future I'll do a little bit of that.
Yeah, and to just piggyback what you said, do what you love, 100%. I've had like pretty big channels tell me like, hey, I want you to like grow faster. Do like CGC unboxings and do mystery boxes. I'm like, that's not me at all. I don't give a damn about graded books, and I don't give a damn about. I don't want to buy your books that you want to get rid of your collection. Like I just want to buy my new comic books and then buy some older detective comics here and there and just talk about what I like to do. So it's like if I grow a little bit slower, then I grow a little bit slower.
How long have you been at it, Perry? How long have you been doing it?
Since January last year. So a little, like about a year and a month.
That's good, man. That's great. Wow.
Gotta have a passion for what you're doing, man. If you're just reading books that you don't give a shit about, it's like, who cares? What's the point of doing it then?
Oh yeah.
YouTube your way. What was it,
guys? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna just say when Perry was like,
he said slabs
what the fuck we doing then?
When I first seen Biggie Shaq, he ain't had no slabs. Biggie Shaq got more slabs than anybody I know right now.
Yeah, man, slabs don't mean nothing.
YouTube your way. Hey, thank you too, brother. I think that's Dustin using Nick's account to buy. Yeah, keep sending me money, Dustin.
Books gotta breathe. They can't breathe in a slab.
That's Nick.
That is true. They cannot breathe in a slab, and you can't smell them either.
And Dustin might have hacked the account, but Dustin always told me, he's like, if money's coming, he's like, it's Nick.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you guys know or not, but like Oscar and I, so at the end of the year, he and I always get together. We do a best of the year. We've been doing it for the last 3 years or so, and we'll have some drinks and we'll just chat about books, and we'll have like some categories, our top 3 artists, top 3 writers, ongoing miniseries, all the categories. And this last 2019, he invited me over to the house, and then I came over and we went up to his toy room that you see up there, and he had a camera set up there, and I was like, what are you doing, bro? Like,
what are we gonna film, bro? Why are the lights dim? Why is there KY jelly out? Whoa.
Started pulling up his shirt, and I was like,
what?
Yikes! Yeah, but he's like, I want to film this thing, man. Let's. He's like, just act normal like you always do, and let's.
I gotta work.
You're not helping.
I was like, no means yes.
He's like, don't fight it, man. Don't fight it.
Well, you know things are bad if you fall asleep and you're reading a comic book. You wake up and your shorts are backwards.
kind of like Spider-Man in that Hulk issue, man.
Exactly. Like, whoa, who put my pants on?
Right. But yeah, dude. He wanted to record our best of, and so it was a little weird for me doing the first video, but
It is.
and then I was like, am I supposed to be professional, or do I just act like normal, or like to put like exactly like Perry with a jacket, man?
And that's the only thing that's professional about me, and I'm getting my money's worth out of this damn laser.
That's cool. Yeah.
I want to know if Chris ate any of that beard cake yesterday.
It's funny, after he smashed his face in it, his daughter was there, and she's like, "Are you gonna eat any, Chris?" And I'm like, I said, "I don't think so." But she got a piece, so I was like,
So he smashed. I wasn't even expect. I thought you were gonna like push it in his face, and he just went in. I was like, oh damn.
I don't know if you noticed or not, but he did like a double
face palm,
double smash. Yeah. So, but yeah, dude, it was just we did that first little video, man. It's been fun, man. I honestly, like, I knew I watched some YouTube videos, but I was mostly a podcast type of guy. But then just like little by little, like I never knew this whole community even existed, dude, between you guys, and like I've been hanging out with you guys for the last week and a half, and it's like, dude, I just love sitting here listening to you while I'm like just chilling at night, like talking comics, and everybody's got the same passion, dude. So it's been a really cool little ride, man.
Not to promote my own videos, but in December I released like a year in review. It's about like 15 minutes, and it must have about like 80% of everybody in the community. And that just like, it goes to show, I try to highlight like the best moments, and it just goes to show you how many people are at. And I felt bad because after I did it, I'm like, damn, I missed a lot of people. So it's like, I could do like a 2-hour video on all the people that are actually in the community providing content. But I think if you're new, that's like a pretty good video, because it kind of gives you an insight to everybody. So it's like, if you want to go watch that on my channel.
Yeah, man, no, it's cool. Yeah, like
horn.
Every one of these live shows, dude, I feel like I'm getting to know more of you guys, like the two bros last night, and getting like, I see every live stream that you guys mix it up quite a bit, and it's fun, dude. It's really cool to meet all you guys.
Well, you get an idea about community. I know when I did used to go to my LCS, I'd be in there, and then maybe one other guy in there. Maybe one guy would run in, grab a book, run the hell out. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. I've got my books. And you don't get an idea that there's all these people out there getting books and reading and enjoying the hobby, because you just don't see that as much, at least at my LCS. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of them that you go in and people are hanging out and talking, but it doesn't happen where I am. So it's great to see it online, and you can always go online at night and listen to some of this stuff and get some ideas about what to read. That's the big thing too. Oh, yeah. These books are so expensive now at $5 a pop. Now, when you walk in the store and you lay your money down, of course, the first thing you look at is the cover, and the cover's fantastic. And then you open up, you get home, and the story sucks ass.
Yeah.
And now at least, you watch some of the stuff, and you know what guys you can trust and what guys you can't, and it saves you money, Because a lot of these books are going to wind up in the dollar bin in about 3 months. Or
50 cent.
No, 50-cent bin.
Yeah.
So you can wait, like all those, how many covers of Wonder Woman 750 come out? That you're going to see a ton of those for 50 cents in a box in a few months. Hold off on it.
Yeah, that's true.
Seriously.
Like for instance, these big events, I keep telling people, like Wonder Woman 750 or Detective Comics 1000, Action Comics 1000. The covers look pretty damn cool. The price tag, not so much, And if you just give it 6 months, you will. The comic shops have so many, they just want to get rid of it. Like for instance, Bueller goes in and he buys them for like 20 cents a pop. These are like $10 books, So it's like the comic shops, they need space for newer things or back issues that people actually want.
Especially
I can't believe that DC's is going to break that. It has so many books coming out now at $10 price point.
It's incredible.
All those Robin and Joker 80th anniversary ones coming out in the next couple of months are going to be $10. The one that just came out today, I bought it, but I got it on my online for like $5.99. I paid for it. Is that DC Passion book? I haven't read it yet, but that was a $10 book.
I passed on that one.
I mean, it's just
Same.
It's just crazy. I mean, it's just $10, man. That's just nuts.
It's a lot, It really is.
Seriously. The only one I'm like on the fence about is the Joker one. Otherwise, I'm not getting any of those, dude. I ain't spending $10 for that, for a bunch of stories that have nothing to do with any of the. They're just basically one-shot stories. There might have one story that might connect to the ongoing.
See, I'm a huge Batman fan, so I'll buy them. But as I said, if they, I'm getting a good 50% discount through, DBCS. Otherwise, I wouldn't touch them if they were $10.
I would get it half off because I am a huge Batman fan as well. Because I bought the Detective 1000.
I did too. I like Detective. I thought it was a great book. But my thing is like, we're getting 80. Like I get it, 1,000 issues. That's huge. But 80 years of Joker. Are we gonna get 90 years of Joker? Are we gonna get a 95 years, or like it's gonna be like another every 10 years? Let's come out with a new event for these new characters. And like Robin, now we're celebrating this. We're celebrating like the sidekick, with a massive amount of covers that are going to be like incentives and all this crazy stuff. It's like, come on,
I want my 40 years of Clayface.
Yeah,
I want some Dead Man. I need some Dead Man love. How about some Lobo love? Like DC has such a wide variety of characters that are never being utilized. Meanwhile, now I love Batman, but we don't need 12 different miniseries that have Batman and Batman characters. What about all the other DC characters that get almost no attention? And then you get like a team book that throws them all in there, and it's just kerfuffled, and nothing really comes out of it.
Well, and all these books need to go back and be monthly too. This bi-monthly stuff. They're going to be bi-weekly soon, but bi-monthlies are just not good.
Seriously.
So Black Treasure is $10 on Amazon. Wow.
I want to get it almost. I honestly want to get it for the artwork, dude.
This is how long we've been on the live stream. Mark went to his local shop because I think he's in Australia, so it's daytime there. And now he's back. Mark, if you can, give us like a little rundown on what you picked up.
You should have live streamed it.
Yeah, you should have live streamed it. We could have lurked you and watched. These issues are money. Yeah, a lot of them are, and it's kind of sad. A lot of the issues are lackluster.
Biggie, RoboCop.
RoboCop, holy shit, that would be fire. Oh man! Hey, if Donny Cates ever goes to DC, I only want him to write either like a darker character like Lobo, because I want to see him bring out some like craziness, like some
Swamp Thing,
or Swamped. Oh yeah,
or Constantine.
You see the new Constantine, the Black Label. It was okay. The artwork was really cool, but the story just didn't do anything for me. Thanks for the donation.
I read the first issue of Constantine, and I felt the same way. I was like, and I want to get into it.
I wanted to get into it too. Me too.
I want to like it, man, but I just couldn't, man. I
wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
In fact, I liked his appearances in Justice League Dark better than I liked him in his own book.
Play the Biggie side. That's only on Streamlabs. Batman is at issue 853 in Legacy. Oh wow. Yeah, that's another thing. The legacy numbers, it's like now Wonder Woman is now legacy numbers, like issue 752 or 51. Yeah. And it's like 2 months ago, she was at like issue 60 something. So it's like it's a little bit very confusing for me at least.
Well, they want their cake and they want to eat it too. They want the issue cake? 1 cake.
Cake?
The word of the day is cake. Beard cake.
Yes.
Now they want the number 1 so they can sell them, and then they want the number 1,000 so they can sell that. So they don't know which way to go. Do I want a new volume series so I can push a number 1, or do I want this to go to 1,000 so I can push 1,000? We're so conflicted.
Oh, let's see. Picked up Tart number 1, good choice.
Uh-oh.
Darth Vader number 1, great choice. Ant-Man number 1, got a bunch of good appearances. Lois Lane number 8, another first appearance. Black Cat number 9. Very sex appeal. Butcher of Paris, which I heard was pretty good. I need to dive back into that. Daredevil, Chip Zdarsky's been, people love it. And then Joker Harley, The Criminal Insanity. That's another one I'm not reading.
That's good.
I kind of hate DC for this. When that book came out, so many other Joker Harley books came out
at the same time.
I got sick of it. I was like, I don't even want to look at nothing. I just wanted Detective Comics, and I turned the other cheek.
I got that in my bake box, Butcher of Paris. So I haven't read that yet. Number 1.
It's based off a true story, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm. So it came in my bake box the other day.
Wonder if it
I
is.
like the big box.
I'll have to check that out.
I also got this one. So I used to love back in the 80s. I used to love Animal Man. I get the last
Ooh.
days of Animal Man. I used to love Animal
Let's
Man.
see that. Oh. Where was I? Cuddy
So
West,
some classics.
Cuddy.
I've heard Animal Man is an awesome run.
Should have been Lobo.
Yeah, the
No,
Great
Aquaman.
Morrison stuff is pretty good back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Gate covers out there. I couldn't find Tart number 1 anywhere today because you got to talk to your LCS. You got to tell them, hey man, I need to get Tart number 1. I figured I'd give you another shot after the. Hey, the Protector was good. The artwork was very subjective. It's like either you loved it or you hated it or it grew on you. I get why people didn't like it, but I talked good of it because I got it for free.
Two Brothers Comics. What's on the wall? I don't know. Is there a fly on the wall? What wall? What part? What are you talking about?
I think
Elaborate.
you got.
There's a lot of shit on the wall.
You got some.
What's on the
comics
wall?
back there?
Well, yeah, there's some comics back. There's some Star Trek stuff. Yeah,
Oh, that's cool. The blueprints.
and Blueprint.
That's awesome.
You want to see something really cool? I got this the other day. My holy grail. I've been haunting Walmarts for it. Robbie the Robot. Look at that baby. If you,
My God.
$19 at Walmart. This thing I haven't taken out of the box yet, but it walks and well, we can see. Hold on.
Welcome to Altair Board, gentlemen. I am to transport you to the residence.
One of my favorite movies of all time, Forbidden Planet, and that's they got this one and they got the Iron Giant. If anybody remembers Iron Giant,
Oh yeah.
at Walmart, and it's like $19, and they're great figures.
Damn,
That's
they
so
got the
cool.
Iron Giant. I love the Iron Giant.
I got a post on my Instagram of the Iron Giant, and then he has his hand out, and Superman's just sitting there, like on his hand.
Damn.
It's so cool, man.
Yeah, I think the Iron Giant walks too. He walks and spins around and stuff, so it looks pretty good.
Indeed, it's to buy the issues, then sell them when
Buy
the
the
trade comes
issues,
out.
sell them.
Then it fits on your shelf. Nice things. But keep the issue number 1. Because if it ever blows up, it's always that first issue people want. Y'all should see my Hot Moms cover. Yeah. So you have comics on the wall behind you?
Yeah, there's some Star Trek comics up on the wall back there
Very cool.
of various publishers. I love the gold key runs. I'm trying to buy more of the gold keys, but they're tough to find. They're expensive.
Perry got a hater. Do I? Probably Air. It's probably you. Let's see. Pew pew. I love Maximilian from the old Black Hole movie. Let's see. Iron Giant and Groot. Who knew Vin Diesel could act? That's Vin Diesel?
Groot's the voice of Vin Diesel.
Oh yeah, it is.
What? And Iron Giant? That's impressive.
That's why they picked him for Groot, bro.
Oh, that's really cool. Dope Robot. I read Picard number 1. I like Picard number 1, the comic. That was my first ever entry into Star Trek. And I wish I could find issue number 2. Now I've been binge watching Star Trek: The Next Generation. That's dope. I
Yeah,
wanna
same
get
here,
into that.
bro. I was watching some of it too after Picard.
If you guys haven't seen it, the best, in my opinion, and it's not quite as dated. Some of the Next Generation stuff is very 80s, but it's Deep Space Nine. Because
That's
Deep
one I. Go
Deep
ahead.
Space Nine was the first Star Trek show to get serialized, where they had an overarching plot throughout the 7 years, and things continued episode to episode. No other Star Trek series before that. They were all episodic. You watch one show and it was over with.
Yeah.
But Deep Space Nine was the first show to really start doing like an overarching thing with the Dominion War. The thing about Deep Space Nine is you may start watching it. The first year is a little shaky. Like most Star Trek shows, they're shaky in the first year.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get past the first year and get into the second year, it gets phenomenal. And from there on out, it's excellent. So I'd recommend Deep Space Nine if you're going to start watching it.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy
So I noticed that there are a lot of like one-shot episodes, but that my buddy told me that he's like, if you watch any of like all of them, he's like telling me certain episodes for Next Generation, certain ones for the original Star Trek.
Mhm.
You should watch all of Deep Space Nine. I was like, no doubt, bro. Anything you tell me to watch, I'll watch, because I know he's like a huge Trek fan. You and him would probably have a blast. He literally has every single Star Trek novel ever produced.
Oh, wow.
From what maybe like the 60s when they first 60s. He even knew the exact year. I could never. It's crazy. He has like three.
It's not the year. It's the star date.
Okay.
There you go.
See, that's why you guys would have a blast.
That's how you know, man. That's how you know a real Trekkie, you know?
Hell yeah.
Abrams Star Trek. I'm not a big fan of Abrams Star Trek, but you know, I'm also not a big fan of Abrams Star Wars either. So it helps.
Yeah. Agreed. It's crazy. He got Star Trek and Star Wars and didn't
Ruined
do
them both.
Right. I was about to say it too, man.
Nerd.
Legend, the great legend is here.
Perry. Dylan too. How you doing, great legend? Heck yeah. The legend.
I thought when I was rewatching some of the old Captain Kirk stuff, like the original, I watched a couple episodes. I'm like, man, the best thing I think they did was getting Chris Hemsworth as Captain Kirk for like the first like 5 minutes. I was like, he kind of does have that look.
He was Kirk's father. He was Kirk's dad.
He was? Okay.
He was
Okay.
I forget his name, George Kirk.
Oh, okay. I see. I didn't get that but when I watched those, I wasn't like I haven't checked out any of the older stuff. Now I've just been getting into the older stuff lately.
Yeah, as I said, the first movie showed promise, but then they went off the rails, you know.
Yeah.
Shout out to Biggie. You got the
I
ASM
agree.
300. That's awesome. What a big book to get.
Hey, my boy, that's what's up.
Sorry. Did you like Orville? Yeah, Orville was that Fox show, and thank you to the great legend coming at you live.
Yeah, Orville was good.
I wanted to know if you liked that. I think I watched season 1. It went to season 2, didn't it?
What, the Orville?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to season 2, and now it's going to Hulu for season 3.
Okay. Oh yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Oh yeah, it's always great seeing Biggie Shaq. Actually, Great Legend, are you coming to Florida to MegaCon? Because I know there's a slew of people flying, driving, trains, planes, automobiles. They're all coming down to Florida for MegaCon. I know Biggie Shaq's coming. That's another person that I cannot wait to meet because it's gonna be crazy, man. If I could get on a Biggie Shaq live stream, it's gonna be one for the ages.
I'm telling you.
Somebody's got to wrestle a gator.
Yeah, that's gonna be Biggie.
It's gonna be
Biggie.
Biggie Shaq's gonna get her done.
He gonna get that sucker done. Hey, my goal though, if I can get down to Florida, bro, I'm about. You know, have you noticed Jem Mint's been doing these intros and he's got like Jason Aaron, Donnie Cates, and they're all like saying, "Oh, you're welcome, it's Jem Mint" or whatever. I forget the exact wording, but he has them say their name. We gotta get that shit, bro. I gotta get Donnie Cates, bro.
Oh man,
you gotta make sure you're there with me, Perry, because I'm
definitely gonna meet Donnie.
I can't freak out. You gotta be there to smack me if I go crazy.
I met Tom Taylor, and
Yeah.
I met him, and I came up to him, and I was like geeking out because I was like falling in love with all his book, and I said I seen him, I'm like. I didn't say anything. I just put the book down. I was like, hi. You know? And he's like, you want me to sign it? You want me to make it out to you? Well, I'm like, you can make it out to me. He's like, what's your name? I'm like, Perry. He's like, Perry.
Perry's like that kid in the Christmas Story there where he gets up to Santa's lap and all he can do is scream.
That was my first ever artist I've ever met before. So I was like, oh my God, like this is real now. Like I see his name all the time. I see his picture. I see him online. I'm like, and he's right in front of me. I can smell his bad coffee breath. You know, I can smell the caffeine leaking off of his pores.
Man, if you smell his breath, you're way too close. Let me tell you that.
No,
you gotta get the full experience. You know,
come on, Perry. Tell the truth. You tried to kiss him, didn't you?
When he said,
I was giving him a hello. You know,
I was like, you sure you weren't trying to make out with him?
No wonder why these guys are charging $500 for a signature.
You know, it's funny. A couple years ago.
Oh my God.
A couple years ago, I'll go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no! The Great Legend says he's coming. So my first ever live stream, I shat my pants, and there was like too
much information.
There was 2 people in there, and the Great Legend popped in. And there's a thing on the community tab where you could highlight a video that's live, and then all your subscribers can see it. and he did that to mine. And then I think I had like 16, 17 people in my first live stream, and it was like, you don't think about seeing like someone like the Great Legend who's got a couple thousand. He's a YouTube royalty when it comes to comic books, and he just pops into your live show and he's like, "Oh, this is cool. You're live, dude. Let me shout you out real quick." And then people start coming in. So that was a major confidence boost, Great Legend. So you have no idea how grateful I am for that. So to get on a live mic with you, coming at you live from MegaCon Orlando, it's gonna be epic.
And that's awesome, dude, that you're doing the same for the community. I mean, you're paying it forward. You know, that's cool,
yeah.
man.
You got
the other people are doing it for you, and you're doing it for others, man. It's cool.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. I probably would have stopped doing YouTube because it was like it's very discouraging when you're like you put like 8 hours into a video and 5 people see it. You're like, all right, you know, like and like 5 of them is you pressing refresh and rewatching it over and over again.
Wait, you can do that?
He wants to fight a bear.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah! Congrats! They just hit 1,000. That's epic. That's awesome. And then I think all their super chats and ad money is going to go to the Heroes Foundation, which is a great charity. So that's awesome. Piggy, you should write good luck in before you and have your. I pissed on a bear and dominated. I believe it. You know, you'll be dripping lemonade with some alligator slippers. Legend is the best. I second that. Yo, Agu, Greg Capullo is coming to. You know what? Greg Capullo can suck it. I was so happy to meet Greg Capullo, and I was in his line. I was next up, and the lady came behind the counter, and she's like, "He's going to lunch. He'll be back in like 5 hours." So I'm like, where is he? Is he flying to New York for lunch? I don't understand. What's going on?
Oh man. I was gonna say a couple years ago.
Coffee breath.
I got to meet Jim Lee here at the Comic-Con here in San Antonio.
What? How was that?
That was. I had a similar experience that you had. Is when I got up to like meet him, I was
It's
like,
surreal.
yeah, dude. It's like my heart was beating. I was like, I'm like, do I say like, hi Jim, hi Mr. Lee? You know? And like, but
You gotta go up like, "What's up, Jimmy?"
yeah, I was like, hey, I said, I really admire your work, man. You're one of my favorite artists, and he's used to hearing it all the time. He was like, thank you, thank you.
You gotta throw with a curveball, like, "Hey, you're like my 8th favorite artist, so that's cool to I get to meet you." Yeah, because he'll be like, well, what? Let me draw you something real quick, so I'll be your favorite artist. You gotta finesse your way into a free sketch.
Then I asked him. I said, have you ate any good Mexican food while you're here in San Antonio? And he's like, no. Tell me like what's a good place. And so I actually got to I recommended some a place that was here, and he's like, all right, cool, man. So that kind of broke the ice a little bit. But what'd you say?
He gave him his directions.
Taco Bell.
The Mexican food is in my house. Come on.
I know. My wife.
I know
makes
this guy. He makes the best Mexican food. It's in his garage. Trust me. It seems a little weird. And there's a lot of blank sketch covers there, but you'll love the food.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Trading chalupas for signatures.
So just a little fun fact about Oscar and I. We actually used to own a food truck together.
Oh wow!
So yeah,
That's awesome.
What kind of food?
We would do like stuffed burgers, wings.
What would you put inside the burger?
Another burger.
Like inside of the meat?
Yeah.
Yeah, inside the meat. Yeah, we'd have like jalapenos, bacon, cream cheese, cheddar cheese. However you want to order your burger instead of having.
Y'all need to have a cooking channel on YouTube. What are y'all doing?
I know, right? I know.
You know what I'm saying? That sounds awesome. Oh, like make it like a superhero themed burger. I'll totally watch that, and I'll make that. That sounds awesome,
dude. Yeah, write that down, Oscar. Let's put that. We might have to do that, bro. But yeah, we did that for.
I love that movie, Chef, bro, with John Favreau running that.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
What was it called? Oscar likes that movie too. Chef, yeah.
Oh, Chef, yeah.
He actually started a whole Netflix thing over that because of that. Now he'll have like famous actors come in that he's friends with, and they'll just cook food and record it. So y'all could do that shit, no doubt. What is that, bro?
And my eyes are horrible.
Call of Duty, You play
Oh my-
zombies, and
Yeah.
And in zombies, you find a box called a mystery box, and you open it, and a different gun comes out. So I got the collector's edition, and it's just an empty box where you just put random stuff in there.
There's no gun?
No, it's no gun. I used to have a Beretta, and I used to keep it in here. But then my kids, I was like, let me not just keep guns where it's easily accessible. You know, let's throw that bad boy back in the safe. You know, let's you know, let's not keep that out just in broad daylight. Let's see.
I thought there'd be like a toy gun though or something. Because it's like that's what the mystery box is.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, I usually keep like random stuff. I don't even know what I have in here. Let's see.
I remember when zombies came out, bro. Like that was like my shit in high school. Even the girls, like when I'd be partying at a house party, even the girls, bro, would be playing that shit with us, man. Like that shit was hype.
Oh yeah, I got a package from what's that company? Midtown Comics. I forgot what I bought though. Probably something stupid.
Open it up.
Something you ordered, right?
Unboxing.
Or did Midtown send you something themselves?
Look, man,
Yeah,
I've been hollering out Midtown Comics. They need to like start sending me free books.
Some sponsorship.
Yeah. You know, I got that not Action Comics, Aftershock Comics. So they're starting to send me some books. So that should be fun.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Dylan, you're not eating a dog's kibble there, are you?
Just the cookie, bro. I feel like I can do it like all day. I've been like trying to fight this headache, man. So I need to eat something.
You need to take like a good week off of like live streaming. You
Yeah.
live stream more than I'm like awake.
Yeah.
It's all those invisible rays.
Dude, I don't know what it is, though, but I hate when I get these migraines, dude. Because then it's like I can't even look at the computer screen.
Might be all your Donnie Cates knowledge.
Maybe.
They sent me
See what we
back
got
and
Back and boards.
I guess I could open it like this.
Hey.
I got
Thor,
Thor.
another Thor.
And then what is this?
Buttonhead.
Oh, Folklores. Oh, they always put it in backwards. So this was the cover that I couldn't get from the shop, which I love this book. It's so freaking good.
Oh, they put it in backwards. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
They always say what's cool about the back of the book though is the more the story progresses, the more the map on the back grows. So you're seeing more of this world. So I'm like super invested in this book. And I was kind of like let down with this Donnie Cates book. For the simple
Don't
fact-
tell Dylan that.
No, like it looks really cool, but I thought it was a wraparound cover. Like when you first see the solicitations for it, like every comic book, when you see the images like this, and wraparound covers are more horizontal and they're wider. So this cover was wider, so I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be a wraparound. How cool! And it wasn't.
What was that first book? I know you mentioned it.
Folklords.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's issue 3.
That's a sick cover, dude. Man.
Oh yeah. So if you don't know, it's like a fantasy world where there's like people going on quests and stuff, and there is a kid who dreams of our world, and so he sees like people with skyscrapers and airplanes and watches and suits. So he starts being like an inventor and doing stuff, and then he went on a mission to go and try to find the Folklords to get him to our realm, more or less. So it's pretty good.
Nice, man. Sounds good.
Kennel Crypt now. Perry be packing. Perry ordered from Midtown last year and he finally got it.
He's like that Jar Jar Binks, man.
Right? You need to sleep. You go to sleep. This guy, he had a live show last night that was supposed to last 30 minutes, and we made it last 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was on there with you guys. I was like, man. Those
Like
guys are.
Dylan's wrestling the dog for the kibble.
Folklore is the book I'm most excited for. It is pretty good. He's wrestling the dog for. Come on, man. Let the dog have the kibble in peace. Barry Comics. Come on, man. Let's see. There was a restaurant near Atlanta called My Parents' Basement. They're half restaurants and half comic shop. They have a Batman black and blue burger. That sounds freaking cool. You know, like I like stuff like that. Like some nerdy restaurants. Like here in Orlando, if anybody's coming to MegaCon, there's a restaurant called Super Saiyan, where it's a Dragon Ball Z themed like ramen noodle place. So I'm like, that's kind of cool because in the show you always see Goku like eating some type of noodles or something, and this whole restaurant is themed around him.
So can anybody tell me what this thing is here?
Oh, let's see.
The last panel of issue number 2 of The Red Mother.
No one can tell you. I have no idea what that is. I read that book. I'm like, what is this?
And she don't even know. She says the hell. It looks like a heart with a bong in it, or maybe like a harmonica with a bong and a ear mask in it. I don't know.
I really have no idea. Like that issue, I thought we were going to see something. I don't know, like what's going on with Red Mother. I feel like I'm already invested in it, and I want something big to happen. But it's like
I don't even know when the next one's coming out. It's been out, I think next month sometime. So
well, it should have been out this month for February because it came out in January, the beginning, first week or so. Let's see, we go there. Let's see the purse.
Is that what it is? I don't know.
Let's see. I have to read a couple more books, bro. Be right back. Oh, cheers.
Mark Cuddy-Shack says, "Jump off, man." I don't know. I gotta know what it is.
My parents' basement is 6 miles from our house, so I gotta Google my parents' basement, and then I need to draw a circle 6 mile radius around. It's like a find where Kachun lives. I'm coming to Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan's freaking awesome. Let's see. No one knows. No one knows what that thing is. The heart bong, maybe.
I say heart bong. Yeah.
Heart bong. I think that's a pretty good unanimous decision. You rip that bong and you fall in love. I
can jump off now.
Let's see. I used to work in Tucker for 4 years, and I never knew it was there. I guess it's in Atlanta. Red Mother, jump off, man.
Jump off.
Perry, check your DMs on Instagram. Here. Speaking of heart bongs, he sent me pictures of marijuana. That's very cool. 36.2%, allegedly. Oh man.
Hey, so when I came in here, Perry, you guys were talking about Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles. Did you read that, or was it Dylan?
Well, Dylan read it. Everyone tells me all the spoilers for everything, so I know what. Did you read it?
I haven't, no, but I'm curious about it because
what I've heard so far, it makes me want to read it. So we have the Green Ranger who Mighty morphed with the Shredder from Ninja Turtles, and now there's a Shredder Green Ranger, and now the Ninja Turtles have that little, when they go like, it's morphin' time, Red Ranger.
Yeah.
The Turtles have those things, and they're gonna morph into the Power Rangers. That sounds crazy. Like,
yeah.
That's like, I grew up in the 90s. I was born in 93, so that's like very nostalgia for me. Like, I loved watching Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers, and now that they're doing this together. Like, I remember in the 90s they had a episode where the Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles met up, and I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And now that they're doing it in comic books, I'm like, that's freaking awesome.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I normally wouldn't even think about, but I saw that cover today, and then hearing, I guess, you guys talking a little bit about it, I was like, maybe.
Happy birthday, Patrick Wall.
It's just pure fun, dude. Badass and fun. But if you weren't a TMNT or Power Rangers fan, I could see why it's not your interest, but I was just, those were both, like, those are the two things I grew up with. TMNT stuck with me a little bit more growing up, but I was there when the first couple seasons, or, that first Power Rangers show and that first movie, and I loved it, man. I was nuts. I built up, I bought the hype, no doubt.
Yeah, I've liked both of them individually at different times, but never, never thought to read them together. But I mean, like the Batman TMNT stuff, I don't know if you guys have read that stuff. I mean, those have been good. So
I get the Eastman variants, man. Those Eastman variants are awesome.
Yeah.
I watched the animated movie. It was pretty decent.
Yeah.
The Batman and Turtles.
That's what it's based off of.
Mhm.
Is like the first series of the comic books, I think.
Put these over here. Let me throw
Yeah.
this box.
I only read the third series. I didn't read the first two. I only read the most recent one.
The most recent one. And actually, dude, I think, in my
That
opinion,
was
I think that one is actually the best. The last one.
You think? Oh, some people were saying they like the other ones better, but I thought it was awesome.
I thought the third one was really good, and maybe the first one would probably be the second for me, but the second one was it was all right.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah, I hear a comic for all people saying he grew up with the Super Friends. He's old. I hear you, brother. I remember the Filmation Batman in 1977. It was with Adam West and Burt Ward doing the voices, and they had that good shot. I don't know if you guys remember Filmation animation. They did Star Trek and Flash Gordon and Batman, and it had all that choppy animation where they just kind of like took the same cells and reproduced them over and over again, so they kind of like moved around.
Yeah.
And there was cheap, but yeah, they zoomed up on the faces so they could show the same quarter face all the time. But it was good, cheesy but good. You know, we didn't have that kind of big elaborate thing like X-Men like you guys in the 90s had. It was a dark time. But I grew up in the 90s. I tell you that I still think Batman animated series was probably the best
It was
animated
awesome.
show in the 90s.
Oh, dude, no doubt. Still one of my all-time favorites.
I mean, I remember when they debuted that on Fox on prime time, and that was probably one of the first times. I think they did the same thing for X-Men, but it was probably the first time a cartoon showed up in prime time in like 30 years, and it was Batman. It was fantastic.
Yeah, they also had the X-Men animated was great, and then the Spider-Man, I love that one too. Like I felt like they all came out more or less in like the same time, and it was like such a great time for being I don't know. I mean, for me growing up with that's like my childhood.
Dude, the intro to that show, the Batman one, is still so awesome. The red skies and everything.
Still holds up.
Yeah.
And the stories were fantastic too. You know, they were taken seriously, and it still did something that I don't think any of the other shows and the movies have even done. Maybe the new movie will do this. Is it showed Batman as a detective?
Yeah,
it's like none of the movies ever wanted to touch that. Batman was a detective. You know, they'd have 2 seconds of him sitting in the Bat Cave, you know, twiddling the knobs and so forth.
Going on Google real quick, you know.
Alfred letting Vicky Vale come in the Batcave for no reason. There's Vicky. She's in the Batcave. But we never got a Batcave even that, you know, the Batcave, you think about it in the comic book, it's got this gigantic penny and a dinosaur. And the movies one had what? Like one screen and it had the Batmobile in the middle. But I mean, it's not the same.
Yeah.
And maybe the new movie coming out, they'll actually make Batman a detective. That's what I want to see. I want him doing some crime solving. We'll see, though.
Hey, guys, I just want to say good night. Perry, Dylan, thanks for the invite, man.
I appreciate you coming on, man. You know, let me.
Thanks for hanging out, bro.
If anyone's not subscribed to them, I just dropped their link over in the chat. Great people. I'm sure we're gonna see plenty more of them. You know, I want to see you play with some more action figures, man.
Hey, you got it, man. Just for you. All right, y'all. Good night, man.
Have a good night, man.
What's up, brother? Great hanging with you, man.
Heck yeah. Alfred does all that now. Now, I've seen Alfred had his own TV show called Pennyworth.
Yeah.
I checked out the first one and checked out. It's very slow.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, it sounds like some random. That's my problem with DC. They're releasing different shows on different streaming platforms, which makes no sense to me. I don't understand it at all.
Well, I don't like these shows like Pennyworth, and I don't know if you guys remember the old Bird of Prey show that was back in the 90s, and it's almost like the Batwoman show they have now, which I tuned out of. Yeah, Batman's gone. Where is he? Oh, nobody knows. You know, I hate these. I hate these shows where they just want to have Batman in the background, never show him, and live off that. Pennyworth did it. Gotham did it to a certain extent. It's just bogus. Even a new Joker movie. I mean, we got 5 minutes of Arthur Fleck going to the gate and trying to lure back 5-year-old Bruce Wayne into the back of his car or something. It was,
Pedophile.
it was, and he had, it was just, I just couldn't deal with it.
Yeah. Well, when I look at that movie, like I it's called Joker. If it wasn't for that moment of him going to see Bruce, it would have been an Arthur Fleck movie. Like the whole name Joker, it just seemed a little bit silly because he's like a grown ass man, and Bruce is a baby. So when Bruce grows up and becomes Batman, he's gonna be in a walker.
Well, not only that, but the Joker is the greatest villain Batman will ever have. He's as smart as Batman. He can't stand toe to toe with Batman, but he can take a few punches. Sure. Arthur Fleck, man, you hit him once, the guy would crumble into dust. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Has Alfred like always been like now they've made it seem like he used to be a agent, a 007 or an MI6.
Yeah, he always had that background. Yeah.
I didn't know if that was newer because I was like, man, they're really pushing that.
I said in my video, like the one I just dropped before, so if you didn't get a chance, it's the previews for next week. Like I feel like the last year and a half, we've been getting a lot more love towards Alfred, which I feel like we didn't really get that for like a very long time.
Well, because he's dead.
There's a whole one shot. There's a whole one shot coming up next week. R.I.P. Alfred or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Was it Detective Annual 3 that just came out a couple weeks ago, or that whole Alfred issue? That was pretty good, man.
I haven't read it yet.
I liked it.
Great issue.
Seen Joker yet, but I am not mad. They use the original idea.
I don't know if I should get this Alfred R.I.P. though. It's written by Tinian and Tomasi.
Well, Joker the movie made $1 billion, so we're gonna see a lot more movies like that, unfortunately. So
sure. How you doing, Trinity? Whenever I don't have a dislike, Trinity comes in. He's like, "Well, you need one of those real quick." He's an awesome guy. If anyone's not following Trinity, he's a man that can talk his ass off. He can sit in front of the camera for like 3 days straight and talk without taking a breath. It's very impressive.
Very impressive,
man.
I love his live streams, man. He kills it. Anything he does, he kills it, man.
Yeah, he's awesome.
When you showed me him, ever since I saw you lurk him, I was like, dude, I went straight to his channel. I haven't stopped watching him since, man.
Well, the good thing about him is there's always multiple live streams in the community after like 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. You could always find a live stream, but you can't really find one at 10 o'clock in the morning. And that's where he's like, well, since I'm home, might as well go live for like the next 2 hours. And it's great because I'm sitting at work, I'm working, and instead of watching some random video, I can like watch, I can interact if I need to. It's like, it's great. I love it. So that he serves a good part in my everyday experience.
That's cool.
On this earth. The thumb is no. Let's see. Nah, I'm just a hack. Well, yeah, pretty much. Ever's going to retirement. No, he can't like another man. Oh man, well, I think it's what time is it? It's 12:30 in the morning here and on the east coast of Florida. Now we typically do about an hour, but it seems like me and Dylan every week we're just having a good time, so it just keeps going on. I appreciate you, Comic Trek, for jumping on the stream. You're always welcome. It's very nice having you on, and you're very knowledgeable. It's nice having someone on who's just very quick-witted.
Well, this is my first live stream on Community, so I'm glad you invited me.
Awesome, dude.
That's awesome. If let's see if we could if you could drop your channel name in the chat, and anyone who isn't subbed up to him, you better go sub up to him or unsub me.
And I want to thank Perry for saving Dylan some StreamYard minutes and hours, because I think Dylan's down to about 3 minutes and 45 seconds of StreamYard left. So
oh my god. I know
he's jonesing, and he needs those minutes. So thank you for having him on tonight and saving his StreamYard hours. You can see me on Scarpad's Comic Treks. Have a new channel where we review Star Trek comics, TV, movies, mostly comics. And I just dropped a video there the other day showing some of my Media Room. I have a video I'm working on. I'm going to be reviewing a comic from John Byrne. John Byrne has done a lot of Star Trek. John Byrne's a huge Star Trek fan, and I'm going to review his comic that he did with called Leonard McCoy Frontier Doctor. That's coming up next. And then I'll be doing a Picard review after that. So, hey, if you guys like Star Trek or you want to just maybe talk about other comics, stop on the channel and sub up. Be glad to see you.
I think the best time to make Star Trek content is with like all this hype around the new show right now. It's like people they want to like. I feel like the show and the new comic is reaching a new audience.
Well, let me say the show is unfortunately kind of divisive. There's a lot of hate out there for Star Trek. There's a lot of people who in the Star Trek community just get on every night and just do a lot of negativity for clicks. I'm not all about that. I try to find the good and bad and everything. There's stuff I don't like, there's stuff I like, and I try to talk about it all. So I try not to be negative. So hopefully you stop over, sub up, and hopefully we'll see you. And thank you for having me on tonight.
Oh yeah, no problem. Is that a ham radio?
That is a ham radio.
Son of a bitch.
I am
that
also
is so fucking cool. I've been looking at that all night. I'm like, I gotta ask him.
I'm also a ham radio operator too. So I do some shortwave and some ham radio stuff. So
that's so cool.
Dude.
Yeah,
that is really cool. And then we got Lost in Comics. I know he got lurked on. No, it's like, how cool is that? I was able to like just sit here bullshit on YouTube. I find your channel and then boom, you're on a live stream with me. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, it's I think it was just like a week ago, dude. And we appreciate everything you guys are doing, not just for us, but for the whole community. That's been fun, man. This last week, really getting into these chats and seeing you guys support each other, man. It's really cool, man, and we're happy to be a part of it. Hope we can do the same, grow and help others as we go along the road here.
Okay, man. So, so if you want to go ahead and just type something in the chat, and then everyone can go in and sub him up as well. And Dylan, he's just a son of a bitch. Okay.
You know it.
Yeah, okay, he's over there. No, Dylan, what you got coming out, Dylan? What you doing, man?
Man, I'm just hanging in everyone else's live streams.
Dylan's waiting for StreamYard to refresh. He's waiting for his hours to refresh.
Yeah. March is coming soon, buddy. March is coming soon.
The 10th is coming here in 4 days, so we're about to. But I figured out the OBS, so I could do streams, but then I can't hang with my peeps. I like to have people come in and hang out when I do streams. I have like one channel, one show I do basically just by myself, and even then I'll be like, Barry, you want to come on? What's this new? And talk some new books.
Now, we could change that. Spin the wheel. I was wondering if you do use Streamlabs, would you be open to like having Discord like integrated with it, so that way you could have people from the community in the chat, so all you do is hear their audio? It's kind of like taking a live phone call.
Yeah,
I think that'd be cool. I was thinking about doing that in my streams too.
Yeah, I would. That's why I was like trying to think of what you meant by that, but that would be cool. But yeah, because I like to kind of converse with other people, and I love the chat and everything. But I love when we get together as a group, and then the chat goes crazy because we're talking about so many things, Yeah. So I just love it, man. With OBS, it will definitely be able to help me, or Streamlabs, so I can kind of conserve maybe an hour or two extra with the StreamYard, because dude, we just do these 2-hour streams, man. They add up, bro.
They do.
I know, there's no way, man. I do at least more than 10 a month. 2-hour streams. That's 10 of them, and a lot of times we go 2-3 hours. It just depends on how the chat's bumping and what we're talking about, dude. Because you say, oh, I'm going on for an hour, and then it ends up being a 4-hour show, and it felt like you're like, holy crap, we've been on for 4 hours, bro.
That's why Dylan's bed never gets made.
That's why my wife just kicked me out of the room a few minutes ago.
Dylan, you gotta do some videos with that Great Dane back there, because I want to see more of him.
Oh man, he's right. He's always hanging out.
Oh man, Two Brother Comics. He's over here sending me messages trying to start proms.
This is my boy right here.
Oh man, there you go.
Nice.
Got some
he was lurking in the background, man.
Yeah, he was. I see him come in the stream. He came in the stream for a little bit. He's like, hey, don't forget about me.
Yeah. He's like, he's making eye contact with you suckers, man. I see him. I'll be peeping out the corner. I'm like, yo, he's making eye contact with that camera.
Dylan, let me give you a piece of advice. There's nothing like rolling over in bed and getting a wet snout in the face. And you know what? Sometimes it's nice to have the dog in the bed too.
Hey, dude, that's why the bed is messy. Probably 10% of the time because of him.
That's good.
He lays right up with me, man. This is my brother, man. It's my son. The son I never had. I love him.
What's his name, Dylan?
Bane.
Bane.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Do you put a muzzle on him and make him breathe like Bane? You should get a Bane muzzle.
Yeah, I'd never do that, man. I couldn't. He's got the black mask. That's why I named it Bane, because he's got the black mask. He's a black mask pit.
Nice. What you eating on there? I see a little bowl.
Little ice cream and peanut butter, brother.
Ice cream and peanut butter. Oh, damn. What you doing with that peanut butter?
Dylan, last time I saw the video, Dylan, you had about 40 jars of empty peanut butter around your bed. What's going on with that, man? Are you like a peanut mogul? What's going on?
That protein.
We're getting that protein, bro. Come on, you see, I gotta get some of that muscle packing on here, bro.
Dog looks pretty happy though.
Oh man, I spoil the crap out of him, so he should.
Chris, what kind of dog you got?
He's an English Mastiff. It's a monster, dude.
Like a beast.
Yeah, he does look like a beast. An adorable little beast.
Big dog, man. Yeah, he's about he's about 200 pounds, dude. He's huge.
Oh my god.
Yeah, whenever he stands up, dude, like he'll put his paws on my shoulder, and he's actually taller than me, dude. He's huge.
Wow.
Yeah, but
That's awesome.
But he's a super nice dog, dude. He's like a big puppy, really.
Next live stream I'll bring my dog and show him to you. He's a killer.
Yeah, everybody bring your dog, man. Bring your dog.
I gotta wake my kids up.
It's bring your dog to stream day.
Yeah.
Dylan plus dog plus peanut butter.
Dude.
Oh man,
it's funny, man. You got these big dogs, and they're always like, people come in my house, and they're like, whoa, 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 and I'm like, dude, my dog, like, he just barking, like he'll growl for half a second because he's trying to see. He's like, are you a thief, or what you up in my house for, man? As soon as you pet him, man, he won't stop. Man. All he wants to do is play. He's just
yeah, you got to train him, and anybody he like badmouths Donnie Cates, he rips his throat out.
Yeah. I got him.
You said, what about the good son? You don't like the Marvel movies?
Nice.
You only spent 10 minutes watching the Avengers, you're dead.
Oh man. All right, well, I appreciate everyone for jumping on, and everybody who tuned into the chat. And if you're watching this on the replay, you're a better man than I am, because that's 2 hours and 2 minutes. So good luck. So yeah, I'll see you guys
you can
next week.
You can fast forward a replay though, man.
That is true. You can put it on like times 10 speed, you know.
You make more sense fast.
And yeah, so you know, we'll see you guys in the next stream. You know, we're always going live.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, guys. Later, man. Thank you, guys. How do you do it?
I don't know. He usually would end it, and we'd go backstage. I don't know what he just did.
I've seen him doing this.
Yeah,
I'm back.
See,
I left the studio. I forgot to end the stream.
I know. I was like, rookie move.
Peace.
That's it. There it is.